It's the fighter and the kid. Had to run it back, cause we back at it again. Yeah, we gon' keep it moving like it's never gonna end. When it was Brendan, when it was Brian, when it was just talking to friends. We got the kid Callan on the left, with the fighter on the right. Ay, had to do it right, cause we coming at you live. Back with the team, had to keep it OG. Must see TV. Had to do it. Yes, we did, cause we back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid. Back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid. Back at it again. It's the fighter and the kid. It's the fighter and the kid.
This is really the fighter and the kid. We're out.
We've got none other than the Liver King. We've been fans of the Liver King for a long time. Controversial, blah, blah, blah. We just loved you right away. And we were like, this guy is a classic example of the American dream, who is like, oh yeah, a lot of noise on the internet? Watch this, motherfucker.
Is it? I don't think you're controversial, are you?
Well, just
is it?
He's caveman, he's carnivore, fuck vegetables, all that stuff. And so you're going to get a lot of, we always say, if you're in the middle, nobody knows you. If you're going to get a lot of heat, but also a lot of admirers, you're doing something right.
If you just stand for something.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how it could be controversial.
Yeah.
I don't know how there could really be critics. My message is not something I invented.
Right.
This is the message of our ancestors. This is the message of your ancestors, right? This is how we've lived for millions of years to express our strongest, healthiest, most robust version of ourselves.
Right.
Right. So like you want to hate or be a critic of the message that I'm bringing, right? I want to say just how grateful I am that you guys are having me on.
Oh, of course. We've been wanting you on for a while, man.
And had I actually really known, I would have jumped at the opportunity.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: I really need evolutionary hunters, primals like you guys that have created amazing platforms like this, because this is the only way I get to really spread the message.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to start every podcast off just by saying what I'm about to say. Just the next 50 seconds, I want to tell you how grateful I am and what that really means.
Right.
Because you hear it all the time.
We'll try not to interrupt.
Well, this is what happens all the time. Hey, thanks for coming on. Oh, yeah, thanks for having me. I don't buy it. I don't fucking believe it,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So this is what I really mean by that, right? There's so many fucking people that are hurting and hating their lives. They're suffering, they're struggling. There's such a massive group of men today aimlessly wondering about life. They're submissive, they're weak, there's no purpose, no passion, no fight, no unite. They don't know what to do, but they know that they're meant for more, right? We have such a massive record of people that are suffering with depression, anxiety, infertility, autoimmune, low energy, low libido, low ambition in life. There's a better life to live. You guys know this.
Yeah.
You guys know this. There's this life to live of adventure, of excitement, of love, light, and laughter. And so this is the message that I'm championing.
I dig it, man.
And a lot of it's free, right?
Well, here's the thing. You can start doing this entire fucking thing today. It will change your life tomorrow. I would say all of it's free. And if we're even talking about food, you're going to save money. I mean, I made breakfast this morning. I had raw eggs. And it took, my wife brought our eggs from our farm. From Texas.
Damn.
She brought it here.
Just raw eggs.
Boom. And it's like you save money. Most of the stuff you save money and you save time. So I would say like it costs little to nothing to do this. And the opportunity cost of living this other subprimal life, a suboptimal life, you're going to pay exponentially more living that kind of life, that kind of hurt, that kind of suffer. So again, when I say thank you, that's exactly what
Yeah,
it is.
but we just got, I think Brennan and I just loved your sense of humor about yourself,
Good.
about the whole fucking
That's a
thing.
good message, but there's also some humor in it. Like, you don't take yourself too serious. You know, some of those guys that are in the similar space, you're like, God, chill out, dude.
Oh, I love it. Dude, anytime somebody's talking about me, I don't fucking care what light it's in. I'm like, do you realize how obscure I was yesterday? Yesterday, nobody fucking knew my name.
Yeah.
And today, you want to make fun of me, you want to do whatever you want, like, I bring it all on. There's this guy who doesn't have a massive following, but he said, I will pay my own way to Liver King Ranch, and if he actually sleeps on wood, if he actually eats all the organs, if he actually lives the way he says he lives, I'll take away all my other videos. And I'm thinking, why the fuck would I want you to delete all your other videos on me?
Yeah.
Again, you've
It's
introduced... And here's the thing, at the end of the day, what I speak is truth.
Yeah.
And I don't care how they come into my ecosystem, you're going to interact, you're going to connect. And I think half the fun is ancestral tenants have some fucking fun.
I think what's weird too is you were successful before this. So it's not like you have to do this for money or for the life that you have. You decided to go from rich and kind of, you know, under the radar to choose this life.
I say this all the time.
Which I would rather be rich and nobody knows who I am. I feel like that's the gig.
It was the gig.
That's the gig.
Yeah.
It's not actually, and I'll tell you why. I say this all the time. Before social media, a year ago, I was rich and anonymous. It's a pretty cool life to live.
It's pretty cool, dude.
And now I'm still rich. I'm no longer anonymous. But not being anonymous means that my fight, why we unite, the message that I'm expressing in the world, people recognize that, right? I'm creating a difference. Like, this is what I exist for today.
Yeah.
What I do in my personal and professional life is in harmony. So this is why I would say now I'm okay paying that price, that sacrifice, because we're all connected, right? If you think that you're going to go wish harm upon your enemy, like there's such thing as competition.
Well, people want to catch you. What I never understood is that, there's this, food's emotional. Food's religious. I mean, people who are vegans are just as religious as anybody else. People who are carnivore are religious about their carnivore. There is this idea that I am trying to hack what's best for my longevity and my health. And people get very passionate about that. And so what I think cracks me up is that they'll take a guy like you who's living this life and they go, I bet you we can catch him sleeping on a fucking bed. Yeah, liar. And it's like, that's not the point, you fucks.
Exactly.
It's not I don't give a shit. Yes, maybe he sleeps on Four Seasons bed sometimes. Not the fucking point.
But that's the crab mentality. Like, that's what you realize. Once you reach some level of fame, you're like, oh, some people suck. Because it's triggering. Like, your success is triggering to them. Or you spreading this word, which is a positive message, it's triggering to them.
It's also free. You're also free. You're also doing whatever the fuck you want, not wearing clothes.
But the price of fame can, like, for your wife, do you tell her you're going to do this, and your kids? We're like, Dad, come on, man. We can't go anywhere now. They're paying the price, too.
My kids couldn't breathe when they were younger. They were going to the hospital because they couldn't breathe. They needed anaphylactic. They were in anaphylactic shock. They needed an EpiPen. They know why we're doing this. And so when we talk about, we just started a TV show, and it's going to be really exciting. But this is going to launch the message so much further, than it is right now. Do we really want to do this? Like, we wouldn't say, oh yeah, let's go do this, like, for the sake of being famous.
Yeah, no.
It's doing it because our why in the world is my kids couldn't breathe. Their life was horrific. Imagine and when we started living this way, the light bulb came on. Now they could breathe. They no longer went into anaphylactic shock. But the light bulb, their personalities came to life.
It was the food that was causing it? The nutrition stuff?
It was us. It was what we were, again, we take full responsibility for it. It's the food that we were giving them. And it's the lack of the other ancestral tenants. We were putting sunscreen on them. We weren't really getting them out in the sun. We lived in the city, and their bare feet were never really anchored or connected directly to the earth.
Sleep, sun, cold. You talk about cold being a big thing.
Yeah, these are thermal pressures, right? I do say cold, but they're thermal pressures. We evolved with thermal pressures since the very fucking beginning, right? Comfort is not good for the organism. It's only through struggle, active suffering, active struggling, this kind of resistance. This is what we do in the gym. We create resistance so that we can create an adaptation, right? So that we can become stronger.
Yeah, so one of the things that as they were settling the West and they came into contact with Native Americans, one of the things that blew the minds off the Europeans, the hunters, the trappers, the cowboys, was how the Apache, the Comanche, the Sioux, how it'd be fucking literally 10 below zero. And they would have parts of their skin exposed.
Yeah.
Their tolerance for cold was otherworldly. They just could. Yeah.
And no foot covering either.
Yeah. They just literally they would write about this. They were like, how the fuck is this chief sitting here on this horse, not cold or not bothered by this? And the Europeans and they were pretty hardy people.
They're just not used to it.
Yeah. Well, they were.
I was checking if you're barefoot right now.
And when I'm in the modern world and I'm walking on 160-degree fucking asphalt, broken fucking glass, I'm putting these things on my feet.
Yeah.
Right? Ancestral
In
tenant
LA,
four-
wear shoes, my man. I get the message. In LA, you're going to step on a
That's right. Well, ancestral tenant
needle.
four
Syringe.
shield.
Yeah.
Right? And what'd you say?
On a syringe.
Yeah, don't walk down Venice Beach barefoot.
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
You get monkeypox.
But you got shield.
It's a good way to get monkeypox.
Shield is part of it, right?
Yeah, so it's sleep, eat, move, shield, connect, cold, sun, fight, and bond. It's all 9 of these, right? And a lot of them were born out of first principle thinking, but out of medical necessity for my kids. And then I really wanted to know, like, do our early ancestors, did they really live this way? And what's the best way we can really figure this out? So we started visiting with primitive culture tribes, modern day primitive culture tribes around the world. We've been to the Amazon, we've been to Africa, we're headed to Mongolia next. We got a trip to the Arctic.
Dude, it's so.
Mark, how you going to leave your shirt on, dude?
I know. Okay.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Use your
There we
biggest
go.
fan.
There we go.
Because we didn't tell him you were coming on. Then yesterday I was like, oh, we got a big day because I have the fighter Bo Nickel coming on after this. I was like, we got a big day, man. We got Liver King and Bo Nickel. And he's like, what the? You didn't tell me. I was like, I didn't want to get too excited.
Mark will go
He
lift and
loves
just
you.
get ready
Yeah, he
for it. He'll
loves
just
you.
get pumped.
I love it. I can feel the
like,
connection
he loves you.
outside.
Yeah, I've been up since 3 a.m. Like, cause like,
Jacking
you wake
off.
up to fucking.
He's been jacking it.
I
dude.
watch.
Yeah, first thing he said to Liver King is he goes, "You smell good, dude. You smell good. I expected you not to smell good. You smell
Hey,
good."
what if we found out? He goes, dude, I've been up to 3 a.m. I've been jacking it so hard on your videos.
Yeah, you just a shrine to Liver King in my room.
Yeah,
But I was, like when you have that moment, sometimes you're like, oh, I could go back to sleep. But the moment I was like, Liver King's coming on today, it's like, can't go to back to sleep now.
Well,
So-
and think about this, right? The chemistry and the culture you create in here, the electricity.
Yeah.
Can you do this with your fucking phone in front of your face?
No.
And by the way, is this your phone right here?
Oh, yes. Sorry,
It's like it's
Are you feeling the EMF?
I'm getting,
Oh, I'm feeling
I'm getting
it.
X-rays.
Hold on,
You are.
explain
Yes.
to us for
God
a second.
damn it.
Explain that. There you go. Holy shit,
God
Brandon.
damn it.
Hold on. Fuck this, man.
Now you appreciate this. I'm the only one in here. Not like I have people run social media. I tell them what to post, stuff like that. But I'm not on social media.
Good.
I'm not. I'm probably on my phone the least out of this room.
Yeah.
Callan does TikTok dances and shit at 55. we'll talk about it later. It's
Now,
killing the brain, dude.
tell me about that, because a lot of the sort of they talk about EMF, they talk about phone stuff, Wi-Fi. I have never read a conclusive study, and I haven't read any studies
believe this guy?
about the.
Dude, 5G. Should we start on 5G?
Yeah, I want to know about
The
that.
towers?
What is your honest thought about?
Oh, you mean the truth?
I mean, I believe blue light and being on your phone is bad
Yeah.
for you, just because it's probably bad for your eyes and you're just on your phone.
Yeah.
You're not connected. But do you think there's a physical?
Educate. I'll let him
Yeah.
go ahead.
So here's what I'll say.
ahead.
Most people are living a life today that they fucking hate.
Yeah.
They go to a job that they hate. They come home to a life they don't love. And they sedate themselves for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
With enough TV, whiskey, or whatever the fuck else it is.
Alcoholic.
And I'm wondering, why didn't I not get a cup of this, by the way?
Get him a cup.
Get him a cup.
Like I said, if I'm with a
Me
Messiah and they're
too.
drinking blood, I want blood. But
get him
here's the
some
deal.
fucking whiskey.
If you,
Here,
somebody out
just
there will get it.
bring 3 glasses with ice.
And
And I'll get some whiskey.
I have the whiskey right here.
Oh, okay.
3 glasses ice.
That's
Stat.
Brendan's whiskey, by the way. Tucker.
And if you're with the Maasai, you'll drink blood. Have you tapped the vein of a Maasai, of a cow
Yeah.
or a goat?
So
You have.
not only did we do that with the Messiah a couple of times, but we do that at Liver King Ranch now. So we brought that practice back to Liver King Ranch. And how cool is this? It's a renewable resource. People think you got to slaughter the animal
No.
to get the blood.
No.
This is milk and blood are renewable resources. The Messiah figured this out.
Well, the Mongols were impossible. What they would do is the Mongols would lead you out into the desert. Now, if you're following the Mongols with your army, you have to bring water. The Mongols would they would drink mare's milk and they would drink the blood.
right?
They would just
Tap
tap
into
a vein
the-
while they're
yeah.
running,
yeah.
be like that and go, come on out. And all of a sudden now you got to turn back around.
And
Yeah.
your whole
Get water.
family, there's vampiring these horses? You guys just suck on the horses?
That's right. Liver Queen does it. The boys do it. We all do it.
Well, you guys look pretty healthy. You're
Yeah,
rather
your wife's
glowy.
in shape.
You're rather
I've seen your
glowy.
2 boys online.
This is why I love bringing her on to podcast too, because once everyone starts acting all subprimal, they don't want to eat the testicle or the bone marrow. It's like, my wife is going to eat you under the table. Get over here, Liver Queen.
Yeah, my ego's not. That's fine. I'm
Not
good.
mine. Not mine. I'm like,
But-
I'll do it. I'll do
deep
it.
throat, whatever you got.
Let me answer this question because people are really suffering today.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's all 9 ancestral tenants, ancestral tenant forest shield. We have all these non-native things around us today. And if you think about it, for the first time ever, we're never connected to the earth anymore. Right. Every cell in our body. Thanks, brother.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, let's do a legitimate cheers.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, and then I want to hear this. This is
Cheers, boys,
Cheers.
to the Liver King.
Liver King, living your life.
To me. So here's the thing, is that every cell in our body is electrophysical in nature. And what cells do is they signal to the next cell to say something, to organize to become tissue. That tissue organizes to become our organs organize to become who we are. And we no longer are connected to the earth, which has a slightly negative charge. And we're allowing all these EMFs, all these non-native EMFs to interface and interrupt our cell signaling today. Every cell has a voltage-gated calcium channel in it, and they can no longer behave the way that they're meant to behave. And so, listen, do you need your cell phone? Thank God, hey, you had yours here.
Yeah.
Where did you have yours?
This is in his pocket.
On my dick.
On
No,
your
I had it
dick
right
and
here.
balls.
He
Did
hides
you?
his under his nuts.
No. But I had it right here. But
always
people
there, Brian.
keep it. People do keep it here
And that's the
in
thing.
their pocket.
Listen,
Ivan, I'll put it on my dick.
Yeah.
And so let's just say there's no conclusive studies. Why not just use first principle thinking and hedge? Listen, you want to keep it hedge a little bit,
Yeah.
right? Do you need your phone on when you're sleeping? Do you need your Wi-Fi in your house when you're sleeping? Right? When you're sleeping, this is the most important point of your day, the most important part to restore, to recalibrate, to reload for the next fucking day.
Yeah.
Put that shit in airplane mode. Put that stuff on Wi-Fi. Turn your electricity off if you can. Pull your bed away from the wall so you don't have the power outlets right next to your fucking brain.
Yeah.
Like we're suffering today with the most horrific neurological conditions. So all I'm saying is Shield is legitimate, right? And you can look at, this is not just with cell phones and Wi-Fi, it's with the shit that we're wearing. Right? We're wearing polyester clothes, petrochemical clothing. We're wearing perfumes, plastics. We're wearing the kind of shit that these are all man-made things.
We're always exposed to it, and we're also exposed to a cocktail
I have so much
of
cologne.
chemicals, right?
It's a maloo, and it's all compounded
So much cologne.
to our
smells so
detriment.
good.
Now listen, if you're over here kicking ass in life, you're expressing your potential. I don't even care what you fucking eat, what you do.
Oh, thanks, man.
Go kick ass in life.
Okay, for
Yeah.
a second I was feeling bad about myself. There's so much cologne on.
That is true. Like just
My shoes are
following
for
your
medium
primal
size.
urge, doing what you're supposed to do. When you get to a point where you know where to place your energy, that's a huge part of the battle. And then the rest is this. The way I look at it is that you love what you do. You don't want your body to be in the way. So for me, health is about like how can I eat and work out where my energy is optimal, where I don't calcify. Plus, I'm 55.
You've always been that way, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for
Brian's
me,
always taking care of himself.
always because I just don't want to I don't want my body in the way. But I am
Drink wine and wake up looking like a Sharpay. But
well, and I have my 5 more weeks for my Invisalign.
Oh, my
And then
God.
I'm gonna have beautiful teeth.
yeah, they're getting there.
We need to talk about that.
Invisalign?
Well,
I call bullshit.
I was going to
too.
ask you about
Yeah,
that.
don't get your fucking pair.
Really?
My wife's a retired biological dentist. Right, and
What do you mean a biological dentist? I mean,
Oh,
just a
dude,
dentist.
you don't
it's like a functional
Shut up,
dentist.
I don't know.
Right, why did you get Invisalign in the
Yeah,
first
in
place?
the first place. Why?
Because my
55, you decided to straighten your
my
teeth.
lower teeth were getting crazy, right? So I
lower
got
teeth look
those-
like a city skyline.
yes, and
It's
on
just like-
camera it just looked fucking.
So you did it for aesthetics.
Yes.
Yep.
How much you want to bet that your bite had finally figured out a functional bite for you? And we're gonna take
That's
off.
probably true.
That's
we're
your
gonna take
bite,
off the
right?
Invisalign. Guess what? Congratulations. Now you got an aesthetic smile, but you
Yeah.
fucked up your bite, and now you're gonna be in a sympathetic mode, a more fight or flight, more anxious. Listen, I don't mean to
Fuck,
ruin your day.
Liver King.
No,
I got
please
5
do.
more weeks, bro.
Please,
I've been
no.
sitting there like a good
No,
boy.
take
in
him
this.
off now.
I
Get 'em off.
I will when I'm gonna eat that shit.
Yeah, you bet you will.
But wait a
He
minute.
also had his lids done. He had
Did you ever
cosmetic surgery on
study?
his eyes.
Did you ever study Weston Price? Weston A. Price.
This is really the catalyst that changed our lives.
It is?
Well, it was nourishing tradition.
Shit,
Sally
I
Fallon
know
Morel.
source material. You don't know.
Take your-
Who's Weston Price?
Take your Invisalign.
Educate
No,
him.
take your
Educate him.
Dude, he had a hair transplant, and then he also had his eyes done.
I had my eyelids.
He's had several cosmetic surgeries.
Yeah, but I look.
And I've always warned him about it. So, yeah, I've always told him, like, dude, you're not living your truth.
Hey,
Shut up, I'll get
but
another
here we
hair
are now. Here we are now. And we can live our best fucking lives tomorrow, right? There's so many people that say, oh, I'm 55, I'm 60, I'm fucked. You know, this is funny. There's a bagpipe player in the UK who I was actually trying to pick a fight with. I thought, oh, this will make great content. I'm gonna go pick a fight with this guy. I'm gonna say, hey man, stop playing. He's gonna say, no, I'm not. I'm gonna say, I'll just pay you to get that hideous fucking music out of here. So I show up and he
Where's
sees
this
me
at?
That's so
in
fucked up.
London.
Oh,
I love the
interesting.
bagpipes. You
In
son of a
London.
Yeah, I
bitch.
like him too.
Well, I love him too, but I wanted views.
Yeah.
And as soon as I showed up, he goes,
wanted views.
"Oh my God, it's the Liver King!"
And stop playing?
Oh, but yeah, he stopped playing. In fact,
How
not
do you
only
not
did he
fall in
stop
love with him?
playing,
You fall in love with him.
but then he followed me around London playing
Oh,
the
that's
back.
cool.
It was incredible. And this guy said, you know, the best time to plant a tree was 50 years ago. The second best time is today.
Oh wow.
And
love that.
this guy was so wise.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the thing.
And
I
you
don't
wanted to
care.
fight him. You wanted to fight that.
Ancestral
brother.
Tenet 8
Yeah,
is
yeah.
right. You know, and this is what we're fighting for. This is what we're uniting for. I don't care what age you are, if you're wearing Invisalign, whatever you're doing, whatever you're about to have, you know, these 9 ancestral tenets, they're things you can do today. It will change your life tomorrow. We're all on this path to becoming better. We're all learning more every fucking day.
Yeah.
Right? So
If you want to.
But you don't
Some
like
people choose
Invisalign.
not to.
Even
Most people
Invisalign, you're
choose not to.
against.
Say again?
You're against
Oh,
Invisalign.
did Native Americans have Invisalign? Huh?
Damn
You
it.
want to drink cow blood and do all this shit and then wear
Shut up,
Invisalign?
Brennan. You're a bully.
Did the Native Americans get their lids done, Brian? Maybe let's take a little break from chatting with the Liver King himself, dude.
Yes, let's take a
Because
break.
we're meeting liver on tour now, and I'm eating all the liver in Boston.
Tell me the truth. When you talk to him, don't you want to eat liver? Like I don't like liver, but I'm going to start eating liver.
I felt a little sick when I ate that liver.
Yeah, but I'm gonna start
I feel
eating
like I
liver.
get used to it. Can I cook it
You can 100% cook.
and it'd be fine?
Yes.
I think if I could cook, I'd be all right. It's just the raw meat.
Even cooked liver sucks, but if it's that good for me, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, even if it goes down a little, about 20%. But I'm eating raw liver in Boston. I'm not sure what kind of Boston liver they have up there, but give me your livers, Boston.
You're this weekend?
Yeah, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Boston, Laugh Boston. All shows almost sold out. Might add a show Saturday. And then San Jose, California, October 13th through the 15th. Salt Lake City, Wise Guys. Shout out to Keith, October 20th through the 22nd. And then I end October in Calgary, Canada, October 27th at the Rooftop in Calgary, Canada. And we're going to add a show on the 28th, that Friday in Calgary. Come get you some, thiccboy.com.
Well, I'm in Tacoma,
Bring
Washington.
liver.
Bring liver. Tacoma, Washington. I'll see you this weekend. Basically Seattle, half hour outside of Seattle. Can't wait. September 29, 30, October 1. That's at the Tacoma Comedy Club, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Stress Factory, October 13, 14, 15, Schaumburg, Illinois, Chicago Improv.
What's the liver
October
like in
27.
Schaumburg?
We'll find out.
We'll
find out. Remember, it's October 27th through 29th, and it's not in Chicago, is it, Brendan? It's about an hour outside.
Hour be out, more than an hour.
Well, if you're in traffic, Brendan, it's Schaumburg.
2.5
all right?
hours. Yeah.
But then I got Charlotte, which is getting hit by a fucking hurricane right now. I think.
And then in Naples also, well, we don't know if Naples is going to be there in December.
Naples off the hook, December 1.
You know you're not allowed to fly into Florida right now or leave.
Our boy, really?
No flights, no.
Our boy Eric will have. Naples is when I think of Regina, that restaurant, and our boy Eric.
Yeah, me too.
And
hopefully he's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay.
Gustavo.
Dude, do you remember the last time you were at the gas station, B, and you saw those horribly branded erection pills?
Yes, I don't take them.
Dino 5000, get your wiener
No,
right.
thank you.
Dude, you don't want that stuff. It's not healthy
You can
for
get
a
a
man.
4-hour erection, nasty side effects, heart problems, all kinds of things. That's even in the other stuff.
Yeah, and thank God for our friends at Joy Mode. Listen, they're here to save the day. Whether you're happy or unhappy with your performance in the sack, why not perform
it's
even
like
better?
a pre-workout for
Optimize your wiener, dude. Joy Mode sexual stuff is going to help you out, man. Joy Mode makes natural, science-backed sexual wellness products for the bros. Their sexual performance boosters is like a pre-workout, but for sex.
It's designed to support erection quality and firmness and sex drive. Contains clinically supported doses of L-citrulline, arginine, yohimbe, and vitamin C, created in world-class world-class scientists.
Dude, a little liver
with
and some
biochemistry
PhDs. Do you eat a little liver and some Joy Mode?
That's
your
all
dick
you
is going
need.
to be
and maybe some testicles.
perked up.
Maybe
dude.
some raw testicles.
Maybe, man. Listen, if you want to spice up in the bedroom and boost your sexual performance, who doesn't want that? And do it naturally. All right, we got you. We have a special offer for you guys, the Fire and the Kid viewers and listeners. Go to usejoymode.com/fighter or enter fighter at checkout for 20% off your first order. That's usejoymode.com/fighter for 20% off your first order. Thanks, Joy Mode.
Let us know what you think. Yeah, so let's talk about Roan for a second.
Dude, they sent me some stuff, and we get a lot of stuff. But I got the
I
Roan,
wear it all the time.
dude. The dress shirt and the pants. I was like, oh, I could get down with
it
this.
doesn't really wrinkle. That's the thing about it.
Well, think about when, dude, you've worked in a bank before, and you have to wear a suit. Think how comfortable it is to wear a suit all day. I was just at a funeral, I have to wear a suit. I'm like, this is so uncomfortable. I wish I had Roan on my body.
They got this the commuter shirt, right? It's comfortable, breathable, flexible, and it's got mobility. You're not tied into this kind of like hard, starchy fabric.
It's also wrinkle free, dude.
That's what's crazy about it.
I know. When you sit down all day and then you stand up and your normal dress shirt's all
there's
wrinkly.
no way to take a dress shirt, put it in if you travel the way I do, you better have an iron, and even then, you better know how to iron. I don't know how to do
1987, who's going to iron these days?
It's got Gold Fusion anti-odor technology, so you smell fresh and clean all day long. On top of that, it's 100% machine washable, so you can ditch the dry cleaner altogether. Come on.
You just feel good in it, and then also you're looking stylish at work. You're going to happy hour, you're meeting your friends or your lady for dinner. You still look fresh.
Mobility. You want mobility. I street fight. I dance.
You need mobility.
And I like to have sex with my shirt off sometimes.
Or
I don't want to
have sex with your own shirt on. You don't want to wrinkle it.
That's exactly
right. You
right.
want to look good while you're in the sack.
The commuter shirt from Roan. All their clothing, as somebody who owns it, all their clothing is top-notch quality.
Their pants are great. They're comfortable. They look dope. Head to Roan, RHONE.com/fighter. Use the promo code FIGHTER. You get 20% off the entire order. That's 20% off your entire order when you use Roan, RHONE.com/fighter. Use the code FIGHTER. It's time to find your corner office comfort.
We got this company. It's called Strongjaw.
Tell them.
All right. Our early ancestors didn't brush, didn't floss, and didn't get cavities. You look at the Maasai, you've never seen such beautiful teeth. You've never seen.
And they don't brush their teeth?
They don't brush
Dude,
their teeth.
their teeth are, the Maasai, bring up the Maasai chin. If you look at the Maasai, I was there, the first time I saw them, it was in the 70s, I was telling you. I went to Kenya.
How do you spell
and
it?
Tanzania. Maasai, M-A-S-I-A-I.
So they don't need fluoride or anything because their diet?
Well, fluoride's a joke also. And fluoride might harden your tooth, but it makes it brittle. It doesn't resist decay.
Now, hold on. The cavities went down. We have to get into this because, the Maasai, yes,
Their teeth
they
are
are.
good.
Most indigenous cultures, they're primarily carnivore. They drink high-fat milk from the animals, drink blood, eat meat. But, a lot of these, like the Dinka, the Nua, the tall cultures, the Dutch, I think, were primarily milk drinkers and meat eaters and wheat eaters, So it's true that depending on the diet, if you look at the Northern Europeans who tended to be taller, if you look at the Africans that were, but I don't know. I mean,
Because in America, I'm sure it's the sugar, it's the processed foods, which cause the cavities.
It's two main things. So again, people think you brush your floss. This oral hygiene hypothesis, this is the wrong paradigm in the first place. This is why this is a tough message to really advance today, right?
I'm listening because your teeth are pretty good.
Because we got to change this paradigm. Again, people think, we're going to brush, we're going to floss. Guess what? The highest incidence of brushing and flossing, we have the highest rates of caries, right? And so here's the thing. It's what we eat. It's how we nourish ourselves. We need predominantly the fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, K, and E, but it's how we mechanically load. So you look at the Maasai, you look at what they eat, the shit that they're eating, you can't eat it. I don't know if you've tried their food.
No.
It'll take you 30 minutes to eat what they eat in 2 minutes.
Is that right?
Oh, it's like, ask Liver Queen. I mean, the kids hated eating with them because their jaws hurt so bad.
They're so strong, or what do you mean?
Yeah, because the way that they cook, so they'll still roast a lamb. They'll put it over the fire for about 5 seconds, but it's so hard, it's so tough.
Yeah, it's
but it's not just the Maasai, the Machiganga, and the Amazon, exact same thing. You're there chewing for 30 minutes, man.
Why do they want it so difficult?
Well,
Why
just
not
think
cook
about
it a
this.
little long?
To
Why
them,
sear
it's
the
relative.
lamb?
No, it's not difficult
It's not
for them.
bread. It's not fed on corn.
They're tearing through it, right? We're meant to mechanically load. When's the last time you used your centrals, your incisors? When's the last time you used these front teeth to mechanically load? Have you ever broken your leg or arm and put it in a cast?
Never.
Personally, yeah. No, I've not.
No.
So you know what happens?
Yes, I
It all
have, yeah.
atrophies, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not mechanically loaded. This is what's happening to us today, right? We like meat that falls off the bone. Most people eat the equivalent of baby food. They don't mechanically load their teeth.
You're right.
Right? And so we got the biggest pandemic today. People have chronic and recurrent decay. But this is just like a window or an insight to other issues.
My
that
teeth
they
hurt
have.
right now.
Your teeth hurt right
He
now?
does have problems with
All
his
the
teeth.
time. All the time.
And
I'm
that's
gonna
why-
stop brushing my teeth.
Like sugar.
No,
sugar
after this, I'm gonna stop brushing my teeth.
Sugar,
Fuck
carbohydrates, those kinds of things that break down, that is what causes tooth decay, right?
Not necessarily. So that
Wrong.
does affect the parotid gland. So what I would say, we all have the ability to resist decay, to rebuild our enamel, right? But we got to stop eating the processed food because that does affect the parotid gland that secretes the phosphorus, the calcium, the things that remineralize our teeth. But we need these fat-soluble vitamins. Start eating liver, bone marrow, egg yolks, get sun. That's what you need for proper oral health.
What about cholesterol?
To his point, though, like I was on carnivore for about 6 months. I've been on it now for about 3 weeks. My teeth do not hurt.
I remember that.
Carnivore.
He actually, because he would eat sugar because he's got problems with teeth.
Oh, yeah, sweet
and
tooth.
It would
You couldn't
hurt because
believe.
the acid and the sugar. So he stopped and he basically started doing carnivore.
Yeah,
My-
so
my
so
teeth
that's
got way
part of
better.
it. But that when people say, "Oh, so is it the sugar and the carbohydrates? That break down, that ferment, that create this? The byproduct of fermentation is that acidic environment. That's part of it.
Yeah.
that's part of it. But so it's the nutrition that we take in, and it's mechanically loading the teeth. So it's not enough just to eat liver. This is going to get you probably 80% of the way there.
You say 80?
80% of the way there.
Pretty good.
Eat liver, bone marrow, egg yolks, get sun.
Okay.
That's probably going to take care of most of your oral
Does
health
it have
issues.
to be raw or
Say
it can be
less.
cooked?
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Just get it.
Get it.
Get it any way you can. Raw's the best.
Raw's the best.
Why is raw the best?
Enzymes?
Well, yeah,
in its
there's a
whole
whole lot of
state.
things that are
The
denatured.
heat kills a lot of the nutrients and
A lot of the nutrients, a lot of the peptides, a lot of the signaling things that other.
Your body
But
breaks
don't
it
you
down anyway.
don't you
doesn't
feel
it?
like Jeffrey Dahmer? Sometimes you're just eating this raw meat all the time.
Well, isn't he pretty fucking primal?
Yes. Yes, he was.
well-
yeah, Brendan. Jeffrey Dahmer's all bad now? Anyway, sorry. I mean, very tall and handsome.
Without morality, you can't say he wasn't a fucking man. Right? You take that out.
I
of
mean, he
the
only
equation.
fucks other
Yeah.
dudes.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I didn't know you were a
Back,
homophobe.
back
Anyway,
back in the day.
no, but
I mean,
but I am fascinated with the idea. Like, I know the Mongols. You're going to Mongolia. You're going to go study the eagle hunters. Now, I don't know
He's
if
an
you know
eagle
this.
hunter.
Thank you.
They hunt eagles,
Sir,
That's
if I may, the golden eagle,
they
and he's
kill
going to
them?
get into this. No, sir. What you do is you send that out. Now, there's video on YouTube of them catching and killing. I don't think it's foxes. I think it's actually wolves. I don't know if you've seen this. They catch other birds. Why don't you bring
Who
that
catches
up?
them?
Well, they're from Mongolia. It's the coldest part of the world. This
outfits
is
are lit.
Genghis Khan's stomping grounds, where these guys learned how to tame these massive golden eagles,
Yeah.
and they'll go kill a wolf for you.
So
Watch
they
this.
have pet eagles.
Yes.
They have pet eagles.
Yes, sir.
They
And
tame the eagle.
they're not bald eagles. They're fucking the biggest golden eagles. You're going to do this.
That's right.
Oh, that's them picking up the
Dress
and
warm.
then they drop them off.
They'll bring them to you. They bring them to you.
No, they drop them
In
off.
Mongolia, so the Mongols,
It's like Postmate.
the Mongols used to grab. They used to harvest like field mice. They'd sew an entire coat out of the mice. they
Holy
caught.
shit! Look at the talent.
Look at this. Watch this.
This
watch
is
this. That's
nature's
a wolf.
Postmate.
That's a wolf, sir. Is that a wolf or a fox? I think that's a wolf.
That's a fox.
That's a
dude.
coyote, maybe.
That's a tiny little fucking. They're not picking up big wolves. Come on, buddy. You got a little exaggeration.
Look at this.
There, yeah? And so they're sending them to do this because this just looks like they're doing this on their own. Those are tiny.
Well, they will. So there's a small tribe. It's a custom that goes back, I think, for a long time, and they will send the eagle out to catch food.
Right.
much,
Pretty cool.
and that's how they hunt.
And that's where you're headed.
That's where we're headed.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
And they're primarily carnivore, aren't they?
You know, I don't know. Here's the thing. Thank
I have
God.
no choice.
We have a great team that sets these things up, and half the time I have no fucking idea what we're getting into.
Oh, so you're
Till you
just-
get there.
Till I get
That's
there.
best.
That's awesome.
Natural
Yeah.
reaction.
yeah, and
I can tell you didn't know.
apparently-
You were like, well, we'll see. Yeah.
half of what you're saying, I'm like, okay, yeah, I didn't know any of this.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if we're hunting eagles or if the eagles are hunting for us.
Yeah.
Thank you for ruining my fucking
Sorry.
surprise.
Well, the Mongols were the first people, just so you know, they were really the first people that because horses are indigenous to that part of the Gobi Desert, they were the first peoples to domesticate horses. And so when they would hunt, they would do it on horseback, and they would corner the deer. Either they'd run them off cliffs, or they'd corner them and spear them and shoot them with. And they were also, I believe, the first people to invent stirrups. So what does a stirrup do when you're on a horse? It allows you to be more stable. You pull back and you can shoot from the horse. That's why they were such a nightmare to fight.
Mongols were
Because
savage.
yeah, they would do that to armies. The way they would herd like the deer and things like they're out there in the Gobi Desert, because there's nothing to grow. You're not growing shit out there. You have to catch everything. It's basically you're a herder and you got to hunt. So what they would do on their horses is they were sick horsemen. There were all these stories about them shooting a bird out of the sky with their bow and arrow.
That's
why they
incredible.
were so fucking formidable. And they lived basically on this. The Chinese would talk about, and the missionaries would talk about how they would take this blood and mare's milk, and they would ferment it. They'd create this like gelatinous thing that
Yeah.
they would drink and they would
It's
eat.
delicious. Yeah, we mix that as well at home. But here's the thing:
do?
you asked my kids about this, right? About the trip, because we're going from a 6-star resort in Dubai to a 0-star city. You know, no running water, nothing in Mongolia.
Love
You
it.
know,
What
And,
a great education for your kids.
exactly. You know, because homeschool is something that was just invented. This is brand new shit, right? I mean, from the inception of our being, we never outsourced 8 to 10 hours a day of our kids going to learn values. We never did this thing, right? We brought them along with us to hunt, to build, to protect, to fight, to persevere, to model, right? And so we recently started outsourcing this job. And so I'm like, okay, if I can take my kids to the Amazon, to Africa, to New York, to Las Vegas, and I really wish they were here today.
Yeah.
Right? Because I always say what we do is far more important than what we say. I want to show you guys how to do this stuff.
Yeah, that's how they get an education.
It is.
And
You know?
do they play sports and stuff, or no? They're just
They play sports. Here's the thing. But they went to private school when I was Brian Johnson, when I was my predecessor. And they were kicking ass in private school. And I don't know if you guys know my story, but long story short, we were in a financial crisis for about a decade. Our home was being repossessed, our cars, you fucking name it.
and what was your business?
We owned an imaging center, a dental lab, a dental practice. It was a pretty big operation. And one day the schools were, hey, your kids can't come anymore. You're this far behind. Oh yeah, you've said this before. But one day they were like, no, they really can't. Long story short, now we're going to public school. We moved from our house, had to sell everything. We rented a house.
Is this in Texas?
This is in Texas. Wife and I are sharing a truck.
Damn.
I kind of want to share the story of how we got the truck, but I'm not going to. Here's what ends up happening is our kids go to public school, and we realize they're not nearly as talented as what we thought in private school.
Yes.
In private school, they were kicking ass. In public school, in private school,
You
they
mean
were the
'cause they're playing-
fastest.
Yeah.
Right. Then we go to public school, and this one kid, Brady, throws a football to striker, hits him right here in the breadbasket.
Yeah.
Knocks the wind out of him, and he kind of tears up and says, I'm not going to football practice.
Yeah.
I'm not playing football practice. And of course, I'm like,
Sounds like his private school was all white kids.
you know, it was all subprimal.
That's how it goes.
All
Yeah.
whites.
Yeah.
All
just
whites.
all whites.
It's just-
You're the fastest white.
Here's the
kid.
real world. brother.
And so this is the deal, you know, is like, this is the real world. I want them to learn this real world shit. So at that point I said, you know, I don't give a fuck if you guys want to play sports or not. I'm going to make you guys into men. You're going to work out twice a day. You don't want to play sport. You don't have to play sport, but you're going to work out twice a day. We're going to get you strong. I'm going to get you prepared to play any fucking sport you want to play when it's time to play sports. So they've always worked out twice a day. They do jujitsu, they do striking, they do
nice.
ninja training. And like I said, they work out twice a day, 6 days a week. So they're ready for that stuff.
Ninja training? What's that? You mean like parkour?
No. I mean, it's you know, like with a sword and the.
Oh, gotcha.
No. With all, it's like American Ninja Warrior. It's
Oh,
like
that's cool.
body
nice.
weight
Oh,
stuff.
that's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
That'd
calisthenics
be
stuff.
fun. Oh, yeah, that'd
All
be
right,
fun.
American Ninja, not
Yeah.
ninja, Japanese ninja,
Yeah, yeah, I
not
was like,
assassin
you did.
shit where you wear this, throwing stars
Yeah.
and poison.
That's what
It's
I'm thinking.
American
Yeah.
Ninja.
That's
They're-
right.
They're very sneaky. They're actually here right now. You
right.
just don't know it. They're
Blend into the wall.
They're
and
so
just
good
two
at
darts.
ninja.
Dude,
Yeah, come on.
But this is
Take
the
over
deal.
his
Like
spot.
I'm so excited to take them. This is why I am. This is very bittersweet for me for them to not be here today.
Yeah.
You know, to
I was
meet
hoping
you
they
guys.
came, yeah.
You know, because when I get to meet guys like you, I'm like, you guys are masters in your respective disciplines,
Mm.
and I always ask, why do you do what you do? How do you do what you do? And I want them to learn from this kind of stuff. Like to have these opportunities to connect with guys like you.
It's an education for them. Yeah, I agree, man.
I think it comes.
But-
I think it comes down to original self-expression. That's one of the things I like about you is that you're just an original, and you came along and you were like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna live the way people. I'm actually gonna live this primal lifestyle."
Well, remember, I did it out of medical necessity. I didn't just have like this thought one day that was this original expression. Like I did it because my kids couldn't breathe. And I'm done with all these solutions. All these guys are saying allergy shots, Benadryl, EpiPens, relegated to a life of babysitting you everywhere you went. Like if the kids went off on ski school, you got to give them all this stuff. You got to talk to them for 30 minutes, and then you got to still like watch them at lunch.
And did you go down that path and like there has to be a better way?
oh, we went down that path for
Because
years.
we have a similar. My kid, he could breathe, but he was born when he was 2. They started kind of coming to fruition. He started having really bad seizures, and so we took him to the doctor. They said, you know, he's 2, and I'm freaking the hell out. And they have him to connect all these machines because he's really bad seizures. When you give him medication, they give us the paper to go get him his medication. So my girl picks it up. She was giving him this like big pill. I'm like, let me look into it. So I start looking into it, and I just stumble upon this like mom forum.
Yeah.
And all these other moms, their kids had the same seizures. It's like an eye seizure, so it feels like a sharp pain through their brain, and his lips would turn blue like all through the night, like 2, 3.
How'd that make you feel when you...
I wanted to die. I wanted to die.
Exactly.
I remember
I
this
literally,
so well.
I literally wanted to die.
Exactly. So you'll do anything to figure this
Dude,
out.
but and then I knew, you know, I'm not like anti-vax or anything like that, but he got all the vaccinations in California. They have to give him over 70 before the age of 2. So the vaccine actually caused the seizures because there's all the mercury and all that stuff in the vaccines. And so he had those seizures, and they wanted to give him the medication. But I go online like, I don't know, man. And I see all the side effects from it. And then I just stumble because I'm researching on the internet. I stumble upon
Do you
this.
remember what medication it was?
I don't.
Okay.
I stumbled upon this like mom forum,
Yeah.
like this mom group chat,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Do not give your children medication. It zoned my kid out. He's never been the same. His
Yeah.
personality shit.
Yeah,
He
they,
just
they sedate them for enough decades.
correct. And like my son's never been the same. I wish I didn't do it. And they're like, try CBD, try natural CBD. And I'm like, fuck, I'll try CBD. I'd rather try that and see if it works. So I have a buddy in Todd Feldman, and he's been swearing by CBD. And this family makes it in Venice. I go, dude, I need CBD. I go pick it up at 1 a.m. from his house.
yeah.
Drive back, give it to my son. He never had another seizure.
Never. And how old is he now?
He's 6.
So after 4 years.
Never had another seizure. Nothing. He's been fine.
And you know what's wild? People don't talk about this stuff, right? Not in the mainstream. And you know what is in the mainstream, which people still don't really talk about? There's evidence-based ketogenic diets The Charlie Foundation is related to this.
Yep.
The ketogenic diet is an evidence-based therapy for seizures.
Epilepsy and stuff like that.
Who talks about it?
Yep.
Nobody talks about it.
My
right?
friend's son does that. He a high-fat diet, a ketogenic diet, I guess, is what they do for kids who have epilepsy and really bad seizures.
And that kind of ketogenic diet is so perfectly evolutionarily consistent with so many other primitive cultures. This is not like it's like some kind of bastardized diet. Again, this is a very we've eaten this way from the beginning.
But think about, and how old are you?
45.
45. You look fucking great.
I do.
Well,
look
that's
good,
what we
huh?
said about you.
But you look fucking great. Yeah. But think about the food charts we grew up with in our school. It was like carbs are number one.
Food trucks?
The food pyramid.
Yeah.
Remember that bullshit in your school? And they'd feed you like
Yeah.
peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and fries, and then strawberry milk.
Well,
Remember
the
back then,
American- the
what
American
fuck?
diet-
Even back then, I was like, this can't be.
The
right.
American diet has always been,
We're the most obese country in the world.
it's-
And that's why
hey.
COVID fucked us.
Speaking of
Brain industry.
diet, we got to bring in some fucking food.
Yeah.
taking out my
I need a
Invisalign.
snack.
Hold.
Yeah, take out the subprimal and
Now, I usually fast about 1:30 every
This
day.
isn't going to fuck up your fast.
I usually fast
First
about
and foremost,
1:30.
why do you fast?
It just makes you feel good. I don't even look at the science people like, oh, you shouldn't. It just makes you feel good. What's what works for me.
Whiskey.
I'm not saying everybody should do it.
This is one of the best. So
Fluids don't count.
you heard what he was saying? No, I love this. Hey, whiskey doesn't fuck up your fast.
No.
But you think testicles will?
No, testicles will fuck things up. Yeah.
Those are balls.
That's a big old ball right there.
Guys, here's what we're going to do. You don't
I'm
got
gonna
to take
throw
a...
up.
I hope
I'm
you
gonna
do.
throw up,
I
dude.
hope you do. Hope you do.
This what you eat every day?
I eat this every day. And
And
listen,
you too, Liver Queen?
Yes.
And the kids?
Yes.
The kids
Where does
do?
that come from?
Every
Where's
day.
that? Is that from your farm right there?
You know what? I have this knee-jerk reaction, and I normally am like, yeah, this is from Liver King Ranch. A lot of times it is, or it's from White Oak Pasture. Lionel, where's this from?
This is White Oak Pasture because we weren't able to slaughter a cow with short notice.
So Liver King Chef
cow's
Lionel. Liver King Chef Lionel ensures that all this stuff has been maintained to specification. So there's no microbial load. There's no pathogenic risk to it. This is no different from eating the most pristine sushi that you're going to get down on. So we got liver, we got testicle, we got bone marrow. We're not doing a major charcuterie board because these are the most important things we need to be getting down on.
Excited.
And that's one ball, or is that two?
That's one ball right there.
That's a ball
Of a
cut.
cow.
Wait, don't you have a ball? How many balls you got?
They're not that size, my man.
Yours aren't that size?
I got big balls.
Yours are that size.
His are that size.
Yeah, I'm like,
I've seen-
but how old are you? 30, 36?
38.
I mean, that's about
39.
Yeah, maybe when you're 45, you'll get them that size.
Yeah, they start to.
So let's do it. Let's get a piece of liver.
What do we
You
do?
basically get all liver's a superfood,
Yes.
right? You get pretty much all your you get all the nutrients. Somebody told me if you eat one raw oyster, you're getting your zinc, selenium, all the stuff for the week. I mean, shellfish are incredibly healthy for you. Do you
Not
do
all
fish?
of them.
Do I what?
Do you do fish, shellfish, and stuff like that?
So every Wednesday, I do skin on, bone in sardines, right? And I don't know if you know this, but like when tribes were at war with one another, the landlocked tribe would call a peace with the tribe that had access to the fish, and they would trade. Because you need some of this nutrition.
Yeah.
They would call peace treaty, they would trade.
Yep.
And so one day a week, we build this into a system. We have bone in, skin on sardines, so that we can get that kind of nourishment.
Yeah.
And so...
What else?
What else? What?
Yeah, what else? From
wanna get
from
into
the sea.
fiber.
What else from the sea are you eating
You can,
besides the sardines?
Well, that's what we have like built into our
Gotcha.
system. But like, I mean, if you put some scallops or some shit like that in front of me, I'm probably gonna
All
eat
raw.
it. It doesn't have to be raw. Here's the thing.
Fish gets dicey raw.
Almost everything that I eat, most of what I eat is cooked.
Yeah.
But I don't eat organs and glands cooked. And neither do primitive culture tribes.
I don't eat organs.
Even when they go cook the animal, when they're butchering the animal, they're harvesting the kidney, the liver, the bone marrow, and they're eating
they
it
don't
raw.
cook that?
I don't cook them.
I only eat muscle meat. I never eat this stuff.
And you know who
I've
eats
never had
muscle
that in my
meat?
life.
The Maasai, the Hadza, like when they're in a hunt and they're successful in the hunt, they eat the organs and then they throw the muscle meat for the dogs and the birds.
Come on.
They do this. They do this, and just
They're
very
stupid,
recently,
right?
This is a brand new thing.
It's a lack of knowledge. I
Well,
feel like.
lions, the first thing they eat is the organs.
They go for the fuck. Yes, you're
So the
exactly
first
right.
thing they
Don't
do
they
is
go for the nuts first on the box?
they eat the nuts. They'll eat, but
black-
they eat the stomach. So the first
Killer
thing a
whales,
lion
too.
does, the choice meal for the lion is basically the liver, the heart, the kidneys. They go right for they tear the
Native
stomach
Americans,
out.
the liver first, right? Liver.
That's right. Here's what I try to say.
Reverent.
Because a lot of people are like, hey, why is your name Liver King? And I say it's because liver is king. If you want to be an alpha organism dominating life, do what other alpha organisms do.
better start eating
The
liver.
killer whale is the ultimate predator of the sea.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know, but they rip open great whites.
And they eat their liver only.
Just their liver.
They
Leave
eat
the
just
liver.
So a lot of times that's what they do. And there's pods all over the world. They do different things. And there's a pod, all they go is for this stingray. And there's a big liver. There's a 20-pound liver in a stingray.
Damn.
And they share the liver. Right? If you want to be an alpha organism kicking at, like, again, we don't got to make this all you're like, hey, does it have zinc and selenium, yada, yada, you know? No, listen.
Hey, man. There's a lot of zinc in that.
Is there zinc?
There's a lot of zinc in that. There's a lot of zinc.
I heard if you eat oysters.
That's a bad impression of me, dude. That's a bad impression of me.
Let me do it with your. Let me do it. With
I don't
your
talk that way,
Invisalign.
dude.
If we eat oysters,
I'm not fucking. Dude, you're being a
hey, Liver
fucking
King,
bully.
if we eat the oysters, are they good for us? But God
That's the
damn
deal.
it, dude, I'm sorry, man.
Well, what do they do?
Sorry,
What do they
guys.
do, right?
Sorry.
Killer whales do it. Lions do it. Primitive culture tribes do it. We're going to fucking do it right now.
Let's do it.
I'm ready,
I'll
dude.
try not to throw up.
Let's start with the liver.
Yeah, let's not start with the
Tabasco
nuts.
sauce? All right. Let's go.
Oh, do you put any sauce on them or like salt? Or, that's stupid. That's so stupid.
Well, now I want to get into, and I want to get into why you don't eat fiber. Vegetables are the enemy, or what?
Well, you guys grab a little piece. I'll grab this.
Yeah, you eat that.
Brendan's scared.
Damn. He just goes for it. All right. I'm gonna like,
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I got these. How is it?
Chicken shit. He's a chicken shit. He's not a man.
No, I'll eat
Can I
it.
be honest? At the end of the day, you and I are
tell you how it
connected.
is.
that
You
was
and I are
way better than I
connected, Liver King.
expected. That was way better. I've never eaten liver before.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's gonna throw up.
I'm good, dude. I'm
You're
good.
good.
I'm good. No, it's like sushi. It's like sushi.
You're having such a problem. Your eyes are watering.
Yeah, I almost threw up. Yeah, it was very close.
We got these little cuts of testicle right here.
I've never eaten testicle.
Let's get down.
Brian, deep throat that big ball for me. Brian,
The big one?
Brian,
No, you can't
bite
eat
into the nuts.
Fuck you. Fuck you. This is a sea scallop.
If you bite into this, it'll squirt all over your face.
Oh, it's gonna bust all over you?
The testicle juice all over.
Is it all over?
Your skin will look so good for the next year or two. You won't need eyelid surgery or whatever it was.
I've never eaten fucking testicle. That doesn't taste. It has a very neutral taste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It almost tastes like scallops.
Now are testicles one of the?
Oh, wait, I thought we were talking. Oh, we
You can't
okay.
do it.
I'll try it. I'll try these nuts.
Are testicles the most testosterone laden meat?
I'm gonna answer that question, but the last thing we're gonna do is a piece of bone marrow.
Damn man,
You guys-
that's actually not bad, bro. I've never done this.
How you feeling, Brendan?
I'm all right. I feel stronger. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
That's all
fucking
fat.
strong.
That's all
You know,
fat. Huh?
yeah.
I've had bone marrow on toast before.
Yeah, but cooked. I've never had it raw.
Me neither. You like it raw?
No, it tastes like chalk.
Not very good raw.
No.
But who says it's supposed to taste
Yeah,
good?
dude. You're talking about. Well, you're not looking.
Who
for
said fucking health? Where's my camera? Who said health? Look at how I'm glowing.
You know
Does
how
my
straighter
face
your
look?
teeth would be if you ate that raw?
Brendan,
tough.
did you get the bone marrow?
I have
That bone marrow is very tough to eat.
Yeah, yeah. Is it?
Yeah, it's just waxy. It's waxy, right?
And here's the thing: when it comes out of the animal, it's perfect. It's melty.
That's
it's
probably been
succulent,
frozen,
it's rich.
and it gets the.
Yeah.
That's God's powder sugar, baby.
By the way, your chef doesn't. I mean, all due respect, I'm sure you're a great cook, but you're just cutting this up, huh? Let's not call him a chef.
hey,
let's call him the
yeah,
guy who
you're-
basically gets the meat.
Yeah,
and
you're like
cuts it.
a weatherman in LA. You have the easiest gig in the world.
Yeah, you're a butcher. You need a piece of wood and a knife.
Yeah.
And we're not going to call him a chef yet. We're going to call him a butcher.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you can cook.
Yeah, appreciate it. But whenever we do serve the organs, particularly the bone marrow, we make sure it's at 98 degrees, and that's whenever you have that perfect consistency, not so chalky and very flavorful.
Too fucking cold in here.
So that's not 98.
That's not 90 degrees. That's more like
That was my favorite one out of all of them, though.
50 degrees.
Really?
Really?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh.
That was way less gross than just being honest, than I expected.
That one tastes like scallops.
Yeah, it really does.
Exactly. You know, and this is the message I want to get out. You know, everybody is like so concerned as they're afraid to eat this stuff.
Yeah, I was terrified.
Well,
When they told me to bring a chef, I was like,
Because undercooked meat, E. coli,
No, it wasn't
all that
bad.
shit, but that's if you get it from a feedlot that's been living in its own shit.
Yeah.
It's a cow. But if you eat a cow or any
Well,
animal,
not even really in that case. I mean, think about it. How are they going to get E. coli? It's like somebody in the butcher house doesn't wash their hands, right? I mean, they're not getting E. coli. You know,
Well, actually, what they found is that there is a strain of E. coli that sort of mutated as a result of cows getting all those antibiotics, right? So then what happens is with the antibiotics in the cow, the E. coli mutated into a sort of a germ-resistant, an antibiotic-resistant strain, and that's what kills people. It's actually a type of bacteria that came out of
Mutated?
the feedlots. Yeah, mutated. So it's not a nature-made. It's a
I didn't know
man-made
that.
bacteria.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's why everyone
the
here
one that
needs a
kills
little
people,
ranch.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Let's all get little ranches and we'll be good to go.
That's what I'd love to do. So
People ask me all the time, okay, so what's in the liver? Like you got the zinc and the selenium, the riboflavin, the bioavailable vitamin B12, the heme iron, right? The choline.
Yep.
And I'm like, who fucking knows what all that
Yeah,
shit
just
is?
eat it, dude.
That's what I said about you. I said, I don't care. Everybody says, hey, dude, fiber, vegetables, sure. But whatever you're doing seems to be working for you.
But listen, again, it's not just for me, right? Like, this is why I'm like, hey, listen, I could tell you this stuff that's in there. I could tell you the peptides that are in there. I could tell you about LEAP-2 and ergothioneine. Listen, nobody wants to know that shit. Nobody knows how to even compute that. Again, just remember, if you want to be an alpha organism, a killer whale, a lion, a modern day primitive culture tribe, they're kicking our ass in life, by the way. You look at their electricity, the way they're so fulfilled, right?
Lions sleep 22 hours a day, but I feel you. The male lions sleep forever.
They're very lazy.
Yeah.
Liver King.
Modern day
Lions are a
primitive
bad
culture
example, but
tribes,
keep going.
they're killing it.
Yeah.
Right. And so so I'm like, hey, how does that taste? And the answer I normally tell people is it tastes like gains. It tastes like strength. It tastes like courage.
That's what I'm
mastery.
saying. I feel stronger.
That's what that tastes like. You want those kind of things.
How much of
Do
that
what
do
they
you eat? How much of that would you eat in a day? Would you eat that whole
I eat
thing?
a pound a day. What you see on the
do?
left, I eat a whole pound a day. So with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I have about 3 to 4 ounces.
When do you
breakfast, lunch,
ever eat yams? Do you ever eat anything like that?
Fucking guy. No, he doesn't eat yams.
Cereals? Do you eat any
Cereals?
vegetables?
Cereal? Are you?
Look at his face.
Holy shit!
Dude,
Like,
bro, just
I don't eat cereal.
Bro, just
I'm
some white
embarrassed that
rice.
you would ask that question.
Bro, just some
Brian's
white
like,
rice.
do you ever have Captain Crunch?
Any bread?
No.
Earn your
Oh, no,
carbs.
I'm talking
Earn
to
your
him.
carbs.
You fucking instigator.
So I do have some carbs. We'll have some potatoes.
Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I was not ready for that.
We'll have some potatoes. We'll have some fruit.
Thank you.
Wow.
Most of the time,
See, that's all.
I don't eat that stuff. But it's not
once
really
in a
about
while.
cheating. So you're with the Hadza. You're going on a hunt. It's a 13-mile hunt, and it's life and death situation. If you're not successful, it's not like you have a grocery store.
Yeah.
There's no like backup plan.
That's your only option?
This is the only
The
option.
Hadza are from where?
They're in Africa. They're in Africa, and so here's what ends up happening: is we came across a honey tree. What do you call the tree, Justin? A bao.
Oh,
All you guys go. So you're balls deep in this Africa jungle?
he by the way, he couldn't look more modern. He does not look like a caveman at all.
He was like this.
He looks like he stepped out of the Google cafeteria.
I'll tell you what, he's athletic as fuck.
I believe it.
He can
I believe it.
run.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And these guys, when they take off, they take off. They're
Well, he
like,
looks healthy. I'm just saying he looks very modern. He doesn't look like a caveman. So.
hey, fix that.
Yeah.
And so,
Hey, fix that. Grow a beard for God's
no,
sake.
seriously, you're embarrassing me. So what ends up happening is,
Now that you mention it.
I don't know if you've heard of this, but opportunity is a moving target. When it's right in front of you, you better goddamn seize it. They come across this tree, they realize that this is the jackpot for honey, and they start pulling out honeycomb, and
I
there's
like that.
bees all over.
African bees, and they're stinging the fuck
They're all
out.
over. They're all over, and then they tell me, "Hey, come, Liver King, and come get in this tree." And I look over and I look at everybody. I'm like, "Fuck!" My wife is here, my kids are. Everyone's here, and I always teach. If you get an opportunity to do something, you always do it.
Seize the moment.
Regret what you do.
I
not
don't
what
like
you
bees,
do.
bro.
So me neither.
I love honey, though.
Fuck bees.
So
I'm like blue.
So
dude.
I reach
African
into this
bees?
tree. They're all over me. They're fucking
Seriously?
all over me, and I'm trying to pretend like I'm cool, but they're all over me.
Cameras are on, I assume.
The cameras are on.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
We should search it up. It's on.
Yeah,
Look
bring
it up,
that
look
shit
it
up,
up.
Chin.
Did you
I wish we had a computer
Well,
to
I
see
got
it.
a massive
Listen to the
chunk out.
story. I want to hear the story.
There's bees all over me, but here's the thing. This is very evolutionarily consistent. Also, eating honey, having the occasional fruit. Right, these are
Yeah.
things that we would have had in the
Yes.
wild, not year round. We would have never had this stuff year round,
Right.
but we absolutely had access to it. And again, when this is right in front of you, and you don't know where your calories are coming from, you're going to get down on this
Yes.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes. So you're an opportunistic eater. In other words, if the fruit is ripe and it's right there, you're going to eat it. If there's honey, you're going to eat it. It's
We
not
have an
like-
orchard at Liver King Ranch. If I have something growing in the orchard, I'm gonna take a peach
I
off
love
of
it.
that tree.
I love
Hell
it.
yeah.
And I'm
I love it.
gonna ask Liver King Chef Lionel to make a fucking. What did you make with the peaches last time?
Just peaches and syrup, cooked peaches, syrup, and butter.
Oh, it's nice.
It wasn't just. Oh, here it is right here. Wasn't that it?
Now,
wearing
I was,
Liver King-
I was reaching into a tree.
What a life. This is awesome. You're living your life exactly the way you want to. And giving your kids the best education, period.
Thank you for saying that. Because we get a lot of shit about it.
Really? You guys pay attention to that shit?
People are jealous.
No, you guys read comments and shit?
Well,
No.
Listen, we've had CPS called on us, right? Because they think this is child support.
Child
oh, there it is, right there.
Oh, but if your
Now,
kid
are
was in
these
a
African
class
bees?
not learning like the rest of them,
Are these
okay with it?
African bees? Look at
Exactly.
these
That's
guys.
insane.
Look at these guys.
And these guys, they're stung all over.
Chilling.
Well, I
They're
think-
getting stung and they don't care.
and they're in skunk hats.
Look at this. He's got a bee on his shoulder right now.
Are they stinging the shit out of you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're acting like it's all good.
I'm like,
Because they're not showing any emotions.
Those
They're
are
like, yeah.
African bees stinging the fuck out of you, and you were okay.
do you hear how they talk?
Yeah, they're wearing Yeezy Season 7. That's cool. You pretend you understand what they're saying or what?
What are you gonna do?
Oh, you got a translator.
What are you gonna say? Hey, man, I don't fucking understand you. Say it again.
I'd say text me.
So now, how many times you get stung?
I don't know how many times, but I just want to answer that question. I would
Which
say
one?
the overwhelming majority of what we eat is carnivorous.
Yeah.
And then we supplement that
Yeah.
with some fish. We'll have some carbohydrates. I have maple syrup. So, and if you think about this, we always had carbs. If you drink fresh blood, it's full of glucose. If you have a fresh organ, it's full of glycogen.
Yeah.
Liver that was harvesting or that was filtering blood that same day, you eat into it and it's sweet. What? But we've drained all that stuff out, and we're conditioned to have that stuff that you buy, at the whatever grocery store so we do need some of that stuff. I don't overindulge in it. But again, if it's in front of me, I'm going to
take
think about it. Is this evolutionarily consistent?
Yeah.
How am I feeling? Did I earn that shit? And a lot of people say, hey, how many carbs should I eat? And I'm like, hey, that's the wrong question. Did you earn your carbs? And if you earned your fucking carbs, you probably have an idea.
Maybe let's take a little break.
Well, we're talking about nutrition. We're talking about supplements. We're talking about how to optimize your health. If you don't have time to be a caveman, you still want great supplements.
and you want to be in the zone, dude.
You want good brain health.
Listen, we all want to be cavemen, but you want to be a smart caveman. You want to be able to form sentences like Joe Rogan.
Tell him about it.
And you're like, what's he using? Alpha Brain?
Tell him about Alpha Brain.
Yeah,
You use
dude.
Alpha Brain.
I'm on it right
I've
now,
never seen
Daddy.
you do a podcast without Alpha Brain.
Not ever.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a world-renowned nootropic supplement with over 1 million bottles sold. All right. Alpha Brain promotes cognitive functions, including memory, mental speed, and focus. Can help you remember names, which I struggle with.
Yep.
Zero in on complex tasks. You're going to think more clearly under stress. Like I said, Joe Rogan says that it helps them form better sentences.
It
Be
releases
more like
alpha
Rogan.
waves. It releases alpha waves that are associated with greater creativity and
Yeah, but B, let me guess. You want to take it because of caffeine? Cool, man. There's no caffeine in
Right.
it. You don't have to worry about the jittery feeling. Listen, this is how sure Onnit is of Alpha Brain. If you don't love it, you get your money back. No questions asked. They send it right back. No return necessary. You're all taken care of, dude. Save 10% off your order by going to onnit.com/FATK. You get 10% off. That's onnit.com/FATK. Or swing by your local Walmart and pick some up, but don't go to Walmart. Go to onnit.com/FATK. Alpha Brain Onnit. There's nothing better.
When you go to the
Mark
doctor,
says.
when you go to the doctor and you get a checkup,
really does.
what are you looking at? Your blood work? What are you looking at?
Doctor, dude, doctor. Hey, let's all laugh at it.
Do you like my
doctor.
question?
Hey, can you tell he grew up rich?
I like
everybody?
giving. I just
Hey,
see a
can you
doctor.
tell?
Bro,
So when you're on your private jet, does the doctor?
I see
Hey,
a
what
doctor.
about this? I was on 2 safaris before I was 6. That was you, right? You've been on
Yeah,
multiple
yeah.
safaris.
Yes, I have.
did.
Well, my daddy, but no. Do you go to the doctor? Do you get blood work done? What do you do?
What's
No, he
the
looks
point?
in the mirror.
I mean, here, this is what I say. If you're kicking ass in life, right? If you have great energy, if you like how you look, feel, and function, if you got a kicking ass libido, why the fuck?
I don't know. What about
this?
what about a clogged artery? What about cholesterol? Things like that.
Well, first of all, the whole cholesterol myth is just that, right? That's a proxy to something that we hardly understand. More people die with normal cholesterol. More people have heart attacks with normal cholesterol than with high cholesterol. If you want to really know about your cardiac health, and I'm not saying I'm a cardiac expert, right? But like, we got to ask these questions, right? It's what's your fasting insulin? What's your HSRP? What do your inflammatory markers look like? What are your triglycerides? What are your blood pressure?
But that's why you go to a doctor. to
But
find that out.
I
they
disagree.
give you a prescription they're gonna take for the rest
but
of your life
you
with other side
just
effects.
came up with a bunch of things where you can go to a doctor and find those things out.
If you want to know specifically about your cardiac health, right? If you're kicking ass in life, go kick ass in life. You see what you look for, you recognize what you know. How much you want to bet you go to a doctor, they're going to tell you how to fix it. They're going to
Yeah.
tell you, and they're going to make you
Medicate
feel.
you. They're medicate.
This is how
Well, they
they're
put you on a
trained.
statin. They'll put you on these
Do
things.
you know what cholesterol lowering drugs do to your testosterone?
It's not good for you.
Fuck you. The side effects of those drugs are insane.
On average,
I've
on
heard.
average, what they
I've
do to your
heard.
listen, we already have a whole population with low testosterone. Guess what? Now we're gonna put you on a cholesterol lowering medication that's gonna lower it even more.
Mass shooters go-
We're gonna
I think
decrease.
I think antacids do that too. Things like
Oh,
that.
antacids are horrific.
Talk about
Yeah.
Pepto-Bismol?
Like just like antacids like that, like different ones that you can take, like for heartburn and stuff like that. Even those have an effect on your testosterone.
Those really
So does
fuck
a
up.
lack of sleep. So does a lack of sun.
Antacids really fuck up the stomach.
Yeah.
If you're on them
And
for
you
a
can't
while.
digest. I would assume like it has to do with just even digesting nutrients in order to make testosterone. Like if you're fucking up with your digestion, you can't.
Oh, it's awful.
absorb food.
That's right. That's right. You know, so the main thing is, listen, if you got a legitimate reason to go. And I'm not against acute medicine. I think it's incredible. You know, I think someone in here, I think your mom had a spiral fracture. Was it of her femur?
Yeah, her femur.
Stryker had a similar thing. And you're going to love this.
Stryker's your son?
Yeah, Stryker's
Great
my
name.
son.
Name, right?
He has a spiral, and we were at a UFC fight. It was Matt Hughes and Hoist Gracie.
Oh boy.
And I'm like,
Long time ago.
I'm
Oh,
like,
hot second ago.
it was a little while ago.
Oh, so you guys are UFC fans.
We are. And here's the thing.
I heard you tell Patty Pinley should be eating testicles.
Listen, but by the way, nobody fucking knows that the guy interviewing me, he's the one who brought that shit up.
Agree. I heard you told him to eat liver and like multiple things, and also testicles. He's like testicles, and then that was the kind of the thing that they really took
Exactly.
testicles.
For the record, if you're kicking ass in life, if you're winning, who the fuck am I to tell you what to do? Right? But if you got an
You
opportunity.
could use some of your advice though, as far as dieting though. You know, he's the guy that blows up between fights.
But why is that bad?
It's bad because he's 27. He fights at 155, and he was on my show Food Truck. He's probably over 200 pounds. So the problem is that extreme weight cut all the time, the
And
time.
why is that bad?
Because the what it does to the body. So when he's going from, so it's so much easier if he, because a lot of guys say they fight at 55, a lot of them around 170-ish, 175. So you're cutting 20 pounds, which is acceptable. To cut, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, it's just that strain on the body.
You got a finite amount of time you can do that, right? You know, like I always say, if you're always ready, you're always fucking ready. Like I don't have to cut weight. I mean, whatever I weigh is what I would fight.
And that's how Cheetos that way, Tony Ferguson. There's a lot of guys who are that way. They're like, I just train whether I have a fight or not, and I eat a clean diet. It's just my lifestyle. They're like, it's not a camp, it's a lifestyle. So like Cheeto will walk, he's not a big dude. He's just always in shape.
So for the record, I didn't come out and prospectively say some stupid shit like, "Hey,
I watched
Patty,
it. I watched it.
Patty, you start doing."
I saw the
this."
headline. Now I watched. I'm like, oh, no, you gave him a whole interview, and then all they did is highlight. Liver King tells Patty testicles. I'm like, that's not.
They're trying to start a fight. Here's the thing.
Well,
again.
they're doing the views, right? They're doing the view thing.
Yeah. So to that end, his name is Stryker for that reason. We have been UFC fans for a long time. It was one of our first dates. We went to the Staples Center to do that thing, and Stryker had a spiral fracture. And like I said, you're gonna like this
How
story.
did he get it?
He was doing a handstand walk, just growing like a weed, and then comes down. He's twisting, and it was just the inertia. And what ends up happening is he's like screaming bloody murder, and we don't take our kids anywhere. They don't go to the doctor, right? So he's screaming bloody murder, and I'm like, hey man, you can sleep on it, and no Tylenol, no aspirin, nothing.
Oh, wow.
You're gonna sleep on it. He doesn't sleep, He doesn't sleep a second. He
No.
doesn't sleep at all. And thank God we rent space to some surgeons that have these machines. And I'm like, okay. The next day, I'm like, okay, we're going to take you. We're just going to check it out. We're going to check it out. And so we checked it out. And the way the surgeon looked at me when he saw the x-ray, I could see in his face. And I was like, oh my, I will never forget that.
You felt like a child abuser. Yeah.
And then here's the thing. I'll try to make this quick. Every surgeon say, hey, surgery, you need to do all this shit. We found a surgeon and say, hey, you can try and do it on your own. And with what we know, I'm like, hey, I bet we could fix this shit. And so finally a surgeon said, hey, you got a non-union fracture. It's not healing. Surgery. If you don't do surgery right now, he ain't never going to walk again normal. I'm like, I don't fucking believe you, man. I don't believe you. We took him somewhere else. The same day, a different surgeon, same day, says he can come out of the cast and he's going to walk out of here today. This is what we did, right? And thank God Stryker could be part of this experience, right? Because listen, we ask the questions. Everyone is incentivized. And listen, maybe every surgeon, every doctor is well-intentioned, fine, good, right? I believe a lot of them are, but this is not irrespective of intention and motivation. We all have to provide for our families.
Yes.
Right, so I'm so glad Stryker understands. Hey, man, we push back, we ask questions, we get second and third opinions.
Yes.
That day he walked out.
Damn.
And he's kicking ass. He's athletic as hell.
That's
He's
cool.
grown like a weed. Yeah. So I'm gonna answer the question. Acute medicine is amazing, all for it, right? But long-term stuff, right? You go to the doctor, you say, hey man, run some tests on me. I don't care how healthy you are. How much you want to bet they're going to find something going on?
Yes.
And how much you want to bet
100%.
they got something to give you?
Correct.
And how much you want to bet most of the time you're going to take,
Yep.
you're going to buy what they're selling.
Right.
And then you're gonna be dealing with another problem. That's what they don't tell you about.
A whole host of
Those
them.
come with other problems. Well, it's like Rogan. He had that horrible shoulder. And they started doing. Everyone told him you have to have surgery. Have to have surgery. He's like, I don't know about surgery, man. And then he got the stem cell, and he can lift full. He does full kettlebell movement now. His shoulder's better.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of guys that just they go away from surgery and they're just getting stem cells now.
Yeah.
Instead of the full blown surgery.
I like studying the cultures though, the blue zones, where people live forever, like Sardinia, Seventh-day Adventists, Okinawa, different
the
parts
longest
like that.
lifespans?
They live the longest. The one thing they all do is there's a lot more to health than just food, but community. They're connected to their community. They do some kind of movement. If it's walking, gardening, they're always physical.
In the sun.
Yep.
To his point.
They eat usually eat something fermented, usually some kind of a fermented, like a yogurt of some kind. They all eat meat, actually. The only exception is the Seventh-day Adventists, but they all eat some kind of
They
meat.
have low sperm.
They what?
Yeah, they're all
They have
this
one of the
big.
lowest sperm
And they're all this big.
The Seventh-day Adventist.
Well, there you go. Maybe. But
Everyone you're talking about is this big.
and you got to be careful with these isolated examples because sometimes it's like, but I to your point, they for the most part, it's a comprehensive way of living. They're in the sun, they're walking, they're gardening, they have tight communities.
There's no outliers, is there, B?
What's
like,
that?
Like they're not exactly like none of them are gonna have over a 30-inch vertical. You know what I'm saying? Like
I don't
those
know.
people?
Yeah, that's.
Like
Yeah,
they live long, but
the
it's also like
Sardinians are
this-
fishermen. They
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they kind of.
That's the other thing is if you're an athlete, there are a lot of people, if you look at the people who train Olympic athletes from other countries, right? Like the Russians, like the Chinese.
Yeah.
So the Chinese had their diving team up their beef consumption.
Yeah.
Because, and if you talk to those athletes that have to see results in their athletes, explosion, power, and stuff like that, I don't know of any, and this is not me, but I've heard other people who've studied this. There are none of those coaches that are going to tell you to put your I know there are exceptions, to put your athlete on a vegan diet. They're all eating meat.
But your example is China and Russia, also steroids. Right?
Of course, of course, but but diet is also a huge part of it for them. Like how you eat on an ongoing basis,
For sure.
how you eat when you're for recovery, after your training. They're very specific about that stuff.
So to your point, the blue zones, they're doing most of the 9 ancestral tenets.
Yeah,
They are. And again, like we should look at these things. Modern day primitive culture tribes and blue zones, and it's not just about lifespan. Fuck lifespan.
Yeah.
This is about health span. It's about the life you live while you're here.
Yeah.
You want to live to 90 and you can't use your dick, right? Or would you rather live to 70, kicking fucking ass and going to hell in a rocket ship?
Yeah, 70.
that is a big and a very important question.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you that.
People
Like
bring this up
longevity
all
is
the
one
time.
thing. Longevity is one thing where you can you can do your thing and move at a slow pace and live till you're 100. But I always
In a
feel like
coma.
it's a little bit like
You're gonna be in second gear your entire life and live to 100.
It's
and
like they
live
talk
60.
about meditation. I get it. You could be in a cave and meditate and live till you're 120. I don't really want to live my life that way.
Yeah.
I want to die young and leave a good-looking corpse. I want to do everything I want to fucking do.
Oh, I'm a Great Dane. I mean, I'll be the first one to die here. That's fine.
Well, again, if you look at modern day primitive culture tribes, they seemingly have no material possessions, right? I mean, they got like bows and they got spears, they have weapons, right? But they don't have any of these modern day possessions like we have. They're the happiest, most content, most fulfilled, most electric. I've said this before. It's just like the chemistry that they have. You put this on any professional sports team, you win a Super Bowl every time.
Yep.
I mean,
Chemistry.
it's incredible.
They
how-
also don't have the access though, right? Like their ignorance is bliss. Like they've never, like I'm sure if you gave a freaking Native American a Ferrari, you'd be like, Jesus Christ, this thing's cool. I'm never coming back.
We're with the
You know?
Machigenga. We're with the Machigenga. This is a true story. Oh, we're so spoiled. We brought like all of our water with us, glass bottled water to the Amazon. You're done with all the roads. You're done with all the electricity. We're going 10 hours on a riverboat in the Amazon, past all that shit, and we bring cases of glass bottled water. This water right here.
And they
That's the
love
only
it.
water you drink, right?
Pretty much. Well, we have well water, you know,
Yeah.
like where we're at, like we'll drink, you know, our well
Yeah,
water.
but there's something about that. So I don't know if it's true, but I've read it several times that when Western settlers in the Indian American Wars would happen, when a Western settler or European would go to and be indoctrinated into an Indian tribe, they never came back.
Oh, right.
Oh, because they loved it so much?
Yes,
Well,
and
they got
whereas when an Indian was brought in,
Even if
and had
they
to
were
go through
kidnapped,
school,
they would be
stay.
kidnapped,
They would stay.
and they still wanted to stay. Even
I don't know if
when-
that's true, but I've read that many times.
Yeah,
that was
same.
something that was pretty well documented.
Same.
And
so
when,
we're done hanging out with the Machigenga. Hey, goodbye. It's great. Thank you for carrying my water all these miles.
See you guys.
We felt
We can
felt
leave now,
horrible.
right?
And listen, I can't give you guys shit because money does nothing. There's like, what can you give them? Absolutely nothing. All they wanted was a bottle of water. Talk about ignorance is bliss. They wanted one of these bottles of water. Okay, cool, man. Here you go, guys.
Here's your
Here you
water,
go.
man.
And what do you think happens next?
They drank it and used the bottle for something.
No,
They don't
Say-
know how to open it. Ignorance is completely bliss. You give them a Ferrari, you give them whatever. You know, like
crashing
it's
that thing.
wild the things that actually make us happy. Tony Robbins said this. There's one word that's synonymous for happy. It's progress, right? And so I say this every Friday. Happy hour is overrated, right? If you get yourself into the gym, if you do push-ups before dinner, then you know progress, you know happy on a physical front. If you put down the damn phone, if you do this sort of connecting with people, if you deepen your bond, then you know happy, you know progress on a social and emotional level. If you read a new book, if you learn a new skill, if you use abstract thinking to solve a new problem, you know happy on an intellectual level,
Yep.
right? And if you go deep inside yourself, right? And if you contemplate whether or not we have souls or if we just are souls, right? And if it's possibly time and space that we use to interface with our consciousness, you ask these questions and you make progress with your spirituality, you know happy on a spiritual level, right? And so it's as simple as this. This progress is built into their way of living every day. And so they make progress on all four capacities in their holistic being. So if we can bring this into our everyday living, right? I mean, today...
But what if you can't? Like, what if people get so busy that they haven't got time? What supplements do you recommend? Yeah, like I don't have fucking time to have a charcuterie board and bring my.
okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that actually takes less time and it's not as expensive. Actually, as a lot of food, right?
Right.
But so it's not
probably
as
easier.
expensive to be healthy. Actually,
So I would say two things. Number one, like I feel like those are all subprimal excuses because the kind of life you're gonna live when you can start. So I tell everyone, go on a hunt, go make this kind of connection. Make the fucking time to do it. Because when you make this connection with the land and the animal, you'll never look at this kind of stuff the same way. If you can't do that, go to your butcher. Go to your farmer's market. If you can't do that, go to White Oak Pastures. Go to Piedmontese. These are places you can order it. Are you sure you want to put that Invisalign back in?
Oh, wow.
I did that for content.
Subprimal.
Beta.
I did that for views.
Beta.
I want to see what he would do. I was like, I'm gonna put my Invisalign, see what he does.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
He's learned nothing.
Subprimal.
If we can't do any of that stuff,
Yeah.
there's
I
a
got 5 more
replacement.
weeks.
It's called the whole feast, right? And so, say you don't want to eat this stuff. Listen, at some point, you got to get this nourishment into your diet. I don't care who you are or where you are. If you're not going to eat liver, if you're not going to cook this stuff, or if you're not going to procure it, if you're not going to put this stuff down your throat every day, you have to get this in your diet. And so again, I just told you how to do it. Go on a hunt, go to the butcher, go do all those things. If you're not going to do all those things, I got another solution for you. It's called the whole feast, or you can buy a supplement version, right? But let's taste this. Let's see what it tastes
Now,
like.
This is your stuff? What am I drinking here?
Then I'm going to tell you what's in it. But first, we're going to taste it.
Subprimal. That's so
Let's
fun.
get a cheers. Come on, my
Let's
man.
do it, man. Thanks, bro.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
You got
What is that?
Drinking the shake.
Yeah, you're drinking the shake. There's a shake.
What is that?
It's called Whole Feast. Just drink it. Yeah, I don't care. You got your Invisalign in. Just fucking drink it. Don't even take the Invisalign out.
Dude.
The reason why I gave this to you is because I saw you put that shit back in. Cheers, guys.
It tastes like chocolate.
Now that's nice.
That's tasty.
So
Yeah, that's also better than I expect because I've had a lot of shitty protein powders since the 90s when I started drinking it, and I would drink that.
So Whole Feast has liver, heart, pancreas, spleen, blood, bones, and colostrum in there. It also has. Why are you making that face?
No, it just
was
the
nice.
pancreas and all that sounds disgusting.
Oh, it was nice.
But and here's the
Yeah.
thing: you got to get that. We evolved eating this stuff. We recently took this out of our diet to our detriment. And so I want to create access and make sure everyone has that. Again, I'm telling you the totem pole. Go on a hunt. Go to the butcher. Go do these things.
Can I just buy that bag or?
You can just buy that fucking bag. Well, first of all, you can have that bag.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that bag. Nobody
What's in
else
this?
touch that.
What is in this bag? Oh, this is the.
So it's
this is what we
colostrum,
just
it's
drank.
Yeah.
pancreas, it's
Grass-fed whole Beast Blend, beef protein isolate, beef organ powder, heart, liver, kidney, spleen, pancreas, damn.
That's what I just said, bro. Yeah. Hey, appreciate you. And for the record, I'm gonna plug it again. It's called The Whole Feast. And every day when I do dinner,
where can we get that?
There's a website called The Fit. You can get on Amazon.
Do you count your protein?
I think
it just delivers every month. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
Dude, 216 grams of protein per serving. 216.
No, 21 grams for fuck's sake.
Didn't you say
Get
that,
younger. You know what? Your eyesight would be better if you weren't eating this bull.
I got subprimal eyesight, dude. I want to apologize for that. Subprimal eyesight, subprimal teeth.
It's just beta energy over there. Isn't it?
I'm going to move in with you. What kind of a job? Well, let me work for you. I'll just have a job. You know what I'll do? I'll butter your beard. I'll butter your beard.
Nobody fucking touches it.
Nobody.
No.
That's where your strength is, bro.
Liver Queen takes a machete to it twice a year, but I don't know if you guys know Mark Bell. Mark Bell was at the ranch.
I know
shooting
Mark.
guns. Mark comes over.
I get
to
my
me.
kratom from him.
So Mark comes over to me out of nowhere. Again, we're shooting guns, like, and then we have our shirts off, and then of course I have my shirt off, and Mark comes over to me, and he's going like this. I see like coming up to my abs. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And he looks at, he's taping all this stuff, you know, and he goes, hey, yeah, I'm just taping, want to see if they're real. Like, are you kidding me? I said, listen, you
They're
don't. I said, I don't allow another fucking man to touch me without my permission, man. Get the fuck away.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just want to see if they're implants. And I was like, are you kidding me? Is this actually
Implants?
a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, the accusations that have happened today. I mean, I could list.
That's
all
how you
of
know
them.
you're doing well, though.
I appreciate
That's
you
how you
saying
know you're
so.
doing well, yeah.
Again, I have fun with it.
You're a muscular motherfucker. I mean, you work
Here's
out
the
like
thing.
you must work out like a maniac.
Well, the questions are all the same, and I do. I work out twice a day, every day.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean-
even on my off days, I take Wednesday and Sunday off. I still do abs for 1 hour on my off day.
That's
Jeez,
so
a whole
long.
hour.
That's so long.
Way too much. It's so extra.
Yeah, it is, and it's how I'm wired. But this is the deal. You know, at first, so the questions have always been the same, right? So the answer, I've always told the truth, so the answers are always the same, right? I still don't take this stuff, right? Never did. I still don't, right? And then it was about, and this became a real thing: ab implants and ab etching. This became a real thing. I'm like, okay, for the record, still don't. I never had it done. I don't do it. Right?
Yeah,
And then
the
it
guy
became
didn't take his son to the hospital when he broke his fucking leg. You think he's going under the knife for ab implants?
Well, and then someone said, no, well, you shave your chest. I don't fucking shave my chest. I don't shave my abs. You know, people are like, oh, you're manicured in some way.
Grooming?
Guess what? I don't fucking don't. I don't shave my balls. I don't shave my biceps.
He's got some good hair. What is your nationality? What is your what is
I'm
your
going to answer
ancestry?
that, but I want to finish. I want to finish.
Yeah, let's get to
Sorry.
it. Because I would assume when you came onto the scene, everyone's like, oh, it's just steroids.
Well,
Because that's the easy, right? That's the easy out because they don't look like you. So, but they'll do that to anybody. Athletes, you know, like, Aaron Judge on this home run path. And everyone's like, well, you know, I'd be interested to see, you know, how steroids, like, what the, it's just their way of coping with. Some people are just born better, dude.
Well, after
Just
people
keep
talked about
finish with
this,
I'm sorry.
people talked about this for about 6 to 9 months, and then it became about ab implants. And then it was like, oh, Liver King wore a hat, and then he stopped wearing a hat. He got hair implants. This is like a real thing. And then it became about, I don't know if you guys have heard this, that I went to Singapore in 2018 to have my myostatin gene edited. I had gene editing done.
I heard about
Hilarious.
that.
By the way, I invented that one to have a little fun. The only accusation that's true, I have a pre-World War II device. It's from Russia. It's a muscle shock therapy machine that I use. I also invented this up, right? I'm fucking with everybody about it. Right? Earlier you're like, hey, you're having fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm wild, I'm free, I'm primal. We were born these wild, free, don't give a fuck, undomesticated people. You don't need a drink, right, when you're wild and free, having a good time. So I'm going to be wild and free, and I'm going to have fun with it. But all the accusations, it's like, you know what, I'm okay making this a little side dish, but let's not forget, like, the reason why I fight today, is the reason why I unite, is because people are actually really hurting. 85% of people have self-esteem issues. 80% struggle paycheck to paycheck. They spend more money than they make because we think that we can express our worth, value, and potential with shit that we buy. With shoes, with watches, with cars and handbags. Look at how valuable I am. Look at what I bought.
That stuff's
right?
stupid.
And why do we think that we can do that instead of building value inside that stacks and compounds? 70% of people are overweight, half are obese, 50% on medication, 40% have or will get cancer, and 20% of the population is infertile. This is why I'm here today, right? This is what I fight for. You tell me what day of the week we should be talking about my hair implants. You tell me what day of the week we should be talking about PED accusations. Listen,
Well, that's what's funny. People want to play this gotcha game. I don't care. Like that's what we said. We were like, I don't give a fuck. The guy is fantastic. How about that? How about celebrating this motherfucker who's eating raw shit and bringing this example of living the way he wants? That's what we celebrate. I do not give a fuck if you've got 15 needles in your. I don't care, and I don't. That's why I wasn't going to bring that up or talk about that. I don't fucking care.
But I also
when I noticed that you look pretty fucking good, and whatever you're doing is working. So that's
a lot of
what
people could use that advice, and your energy and your message is why
and you're giving this. You're kidding.
But I also think a lot of people don't have perspective. Like if they've never been in a locker room or they've never been around people who are just genetically gifted, man. Like obviously your genetics are pretty fucking good.
Well,
I saw a picture when you were young. I saw a picture when you were young.
I was 15 in that
pretty
picture.
jacked.
I was 15 in that picture, and here's what
Have you
people
seen
don't
that
know.
picture?
Yeah, he's got nice tits.
I had already been doing bench press for 7 years. When I was 8 years old, I started doing bench press, and I was just drawn to it. I figured out that this was it, right? Like, I wish somebody told me to do
How old
more
were you?
squats. I was 15.
That's a strong kid.
Yeah, you
right
have.
there.
I mean,
that's crazy.
a very well developed chest for 15.
Thank you for saying that. You look at my brother. My brother looks absolute, but my brother wasn't creating that resistance. I needed that resist. And again, all men are driven to have this. What do we do when men turn 16 years old today? We throw them a sweet 16 party, you guys. Right? If you look at the Machiganga, if you look at the Spartans, what?
Beta.
It's very fucking beta. Right? Every ancestral tribe, primitive culture tribe, they have a real rite of passage.
Bullet ants in gloves.
I love that story.
What?
Right? And we
You
do
put your
something.
hands in bullet ants?
Sir, hundreds of ants
Ignorance
sewn
is
into these grass mitts, and they douse them in this solution that makes them tired, and then you sew them ass backwards.
Okay.
And then you put your hands in, and as they wake up,
Start stinging.
hundreds of bullet ants, which is the most painful. I freaked out over one yellow jacket sting. They fucking hundreds of them will sting your hands. It's this
that
rite
bullet
of
ant
passage.
PETA right there?
Yeah, now you go ahead and try that.
my God.
But that purification ritual
That's
of
stupid, though,
scarring.
right? We can all agree
No,
that's
no,
pretty
of
stupid.
scarring.
I love it. I love it. Again, comfort's not good for the organism. What they're teaching here is that you can endure something that you otherwise thought was impossible.
Yeah.
And when you learn how to do this thing, so I created a workout called Barbarian. It's the equivalent of a rite of passage that I brought into the modern world. I made Stryker do it right before he turned 15. Nobody thought he could do it, right? Nobody thought. He didn't think he could do it. But I know that when you can train the barbarian, when you become the barbarian, then you know true strength.
What is it?
And I'm going to tell you, and when you know true strength, it's not just about your ability to impose your force of will physically. You go do barbarian. You don't wake up one day and just do barbarian, right? You train for barbarian. You complete barbarian. You've completed a modern day rite of passage that you otherwise thought was impossible. And you realize it's that process, the active suffering, the struggling, the discipline, the relentless focus to continue to do this. When you accomplish barbarian, what you know with any other rite of passage is, holy shit, I can point that process at anything. As a boss, in a relationship, at any role and goal I have in life. And that's when you develop that true strength. So this is what we used to do. To our detriment, we've abandoned a rite of passage. And so this is what I think is really important is we bring this back. The barbarian is a workout where you have 70 pounds in a backpack, 70-pound kettlebells. You have 120 pounds on top of a 45 or 65-pound sled. You have 20-pound ankle weights. You go for 1 mile. So it's 1 mile. This is barbarian. For most people, it's going to be an incredible rite of passage. You would crush it. So you're only... You would only even think about doing super barbarian. You're not even invited to do barbarian.
He's a horse. He's a horse.
You and I do super barbarian. There's
I'd
only
be down
3
for
people
that.
that have done super barbarian. Liver Queen's one of them. Super barbarian is
What's super barbarian?
Super barbarian is how much do
You
weigh?
wear a testicle cinch?
245 right now?
Okay, so you're gonna have 130-pound kettlebells in each hand.
Okay.
That's a lot of weight.
You're gonna have your same weight, 260 pounds on the sled. You're still gonna have 20-pound.
Sled's behind me?
Yeah.
I'm pulling the sled, holding the dumbbells.
That's right.
Gotcha.
You still go a mile.
Uphill or is it flat?
It's like life.
It's Austin.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous, though.
It's life.
I'd fly out to Austin to do that. I'd be down for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
fucking
down for
shake
that.
Is
up.
that
Yeah,
what
you
you're...
got my
Dude,
word.
you're
Oh, yeah,
doing
brother.
that?
Yeah.
That's crazy shape. That's fucking nuts.
And so that's the deal. That's barbarian. There's no pictures of me doing super barbarian because this is just a rite of passage that you go out and you. It's a very spiritual thing. I mean, everything leaves your body. Everything is
fun.
gone. Everything is fucking gone, you guys. And so this is the deal: is that we've evolved with these rites of passages, and today we wonder why men are suffering with such desperation. Like, why are men so aimlessly wandering around, weak and submissive? And I'll tell you why. It's because hard times make strong men. And there's no requirement for hard times in the modern world. In comfort, we get warm, we turn down the thermostat.
Yep.
Right? Like, we outsource any hard work, right? Food today. You want food. It's in your refrigerator. The Huds have to go hunt, 13 miles.
So when you talk to me a little bit about cold, I'm a coward when it comes to the cold. When it's a little chilly, I bundle up.
Brian wears scarves.
I bundle the fuck up
You don't
on a
actually wear
plane.
scarves, do you?
No,
Yeah, thank God.
dude, come on, bro. If I'm in Boston, I gotta keep my necky wecky warm. What the fuck is wrong with that? God damn it! I can't do anything right. I want perfectly straight teeth, and I want to keep my necky wecky warm. What is wrong with that? I gotta get primal, dude. I'm subprimal.
To your point, though, as far as tough times, tough people, it's also because society is going away from that. The alpha males like yourself and others, they're becoming public enemy number one because people don't want to condone that, that behavior. So like, no, we gotta silence these guys.
We
gotta
like
suppress
compliance.
these
We
guys.
like obedience.
Yes.
Everything's easier. And guess what? We hate ourselves. We hate the lives that we're living in.
Independence. When somebody's free and they're living their own
It's
life.
not even that. The independence, whatever. It's if you're a successful, male, alpha male, societies now, especially Hollywood and the big media corporations and social media is like, no, that's not what we want to hear because they want to, make it this sissy, like you're saying.
They want to sell you something.
Yes.
And guess what? Everyone's buying it. Everybody's buying
But
it.
my question is, how's that working for you guys? Like your people are miserable. You just went over all the stats. Like how, if we keep going down this road, how's that go for us?
Yeah.
Not
So
good.
I want to say my solution is pretty simple. Start with liver. It's really that simple, right? If you start with liver, this will give you more drive, more determination, more energy to take massive action and to kick ass in life. What's
Sorry
that
about that.
subprimal?
Because why? Because it's with your subprimal
He was a
noise.
fan, Mark.
Wait,
Well, anymore.
because liver is a complete food, it's a superfood. Is that what it is? You mean you're getting most of your nutrients when you eat liver?
Well, it's not only are you getting most of them, you're getting the nutrition that has been left out of your diet. These are the things that we evolved with, again, to
And you
express
can eat
our
liver
highest
every day
wisdom.
without getting vitamin A toxicity and all that.
Well, the fat-soluble vitamins live in the system. If you get enough D and E and
Yeah.
K, you're going to be fine. This is why I said earlier, most people I say, maybe get a pound a week. A pound a week. I do a pound a day, right? But I also eat bone marrow every day. I get the sun every day, right? I eat egg yolks every day.
You
do
start
that.
somewhere though.
Yeah. And so start eating liver, and this is going to give you more drive, more determination, better neurochemistry to start kicking ass in life. But now you got to learn the barbarian, train the barbarian, become the barbarian. When you do that, you'll know what it is to impose your force of will.
Are you ever sick? You ever have the flu or cold or anything?
You know what? If I don't feel good, again, to me, it's like I'm not going to lay up in bed and be, what I do is I go on a 5-day water only fast and I don't eat for a week. Zero
everybody
calories.
Gets sick. Everybody gets exposed to different pathogens.
Well, and here's the thing. I live in a primal vacuum. I live in a primal bubble. So when I go out and I'm interacting with you guys and we're hugging, because I'm gonna fucking hug everybody.
Yeah, you're gonna get monkeypox.
Heart to heart.
Yeah, well,
I got
enjoy
all,
monkeypox when you get back to us.
and I got no antibodies to the fucking subprimal shit you're giving me. Right?
You're gonna get whatever new COVID strain and monkeypox.
So most of the time I'm pretty resilient to it. I'll say once or twice a year, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm like, what a gift this is, because I don't ever take time off from the gym. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take 5 days where I don't work out. I'm not gonna eat anything. And the kind of benefit I get from it, I'm not sure if you know about the benefits of fasting, but apoptosis, autophagy, you get mitochondrial biogenesis, metabolic flexibility, disease prevention and remediation, even if you don't know you have shit.
this is all good stuff.
This is all like cancer prevention. You have senescent cells that always want to destroy themselves, apoptosis, right? But we never give ourselves what's built into our evolutionary past, a break from eating. mTOR's always activated. It's always activated.
Because we're conditioned that way, right?
Because we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Somebody said, hey, you got to do this thing.
Yeah.
People eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then they have snacks in between, before and after.
So you'll fast twice a year, or you fast?
We fast every quarter. And if I don't feel good prior to that happening, it's like, you know what, we're gonna take a break right now.
How many calories do you take in? You think? That would.
I don't measure them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say, because one time I said something and some genius from YouTube is like, let me tell you why that's impossible.
Yeah.
I don't count them. But here's how I kind of deal with my calories. If I feel like I'm getting less ripped, then all I do is lay off the maple syrup.
Dial it down, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's like carbs is my lever. If I feel like I'm getting less swole, then I just lay on the maple syrup even more.
I'm sure the liver is pretty calorie dense, right?
I'm sure it
so
is.
much shit.
I mean, if you guys were to see what I actually, I make a story of it every single day. Here's what Liver King's having for dinner. It's a robust dinner. I would tell you my dinner at least has 3,000 calories every day. Just my dinner.
Which is hard to do if you're not eating carbs.
I don't think it is because fat is again,
There's
there's
like calories
double the
dense.
calories
Yeah, you're right.
per gram.
Yeah.
And if you look at the amount of fat that we have, and that's evolutionarily consistent, like in a piece of meat, and then we'll add like some homemade butter on that, and we're eating a bunch of eggs.
Fuck.
It's not
How often
hard.
do you tap a vein of one of your animals?
How do we do it?
How often and how do you do it?
If you come to town, we'll do it. Like
I'd love to.
we usually do it when we're having a guest or if we're not feeling good.
That'd be fun, huh?
Fuck yeah. Where is this place?
It's between Houston and Dallas. Yeah, we live in the
I'd
boonies
love to
between
come
Houston
out.
and Dallas.
I'd love to come out.
Yeah, we have 500 acres out there, and it's just we love going out there. We have all of our animals. We have the egg department. We have the milk department. We got the meat department. We have the wilderness department. And every Saturday we'll usually do a dose of mushrooms, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Oh,
down
hell
the road.
yeah.
I'm all about that.
Good.
He recently
all
got into it.
Yeah, I'm all
He started
about
doing.
Why do you say that?
He
Why?
started doing psychedelics and bought a convertible yellow Corvette.
No.
It's not a midlife crisis.
No.
He's just trying to find himself.
I'm a big.
It's not a midlife crisis.
I'm very interested in psychedelics,
At
especially
55.
I have some
psilocybin.
mushrooms right here, actually. Some psychedelics.
Psilocybin.
Mark's on the road with me. He'll wake up because I always get Airbnb when I'm on tour. He'll wake up. He'll do I don't know how much of those mushrooms and then down an energy drink.
There's no way.
He's a madman.
Wait, every day?
Every day
On tour?
He's a madman. Yeah.
Hey, why do you get an Airbnb, by the way?
Hotels give me PTSD from fighting. Yeah, I can't
and-
sleep in them.
Okay. Well, and how much you want to bet? Like you're so much better protected. I mean, a hotel has, I don't know, 100 or 1,000 different modems and routers, and you could be way better off. And
I do
100%.
Airbnbs too. It's way better. It's a house.
It's easy. It's more comfortable.
But you're really excited about the mushrooms.
I am.
Could you share why?
Because I believe that I've never ever done mushrooms and even had really bad trips where it didn't push me closer to the truth. Meaning where I didn't want to reconcile anything in my life that wasn't where I wasn't being completely honest, where I wasn't completing those circles, whether it was a relationship that needed to be mended or whatever.
So you get done and you call people?
Yes, or I
haven't got a call.
I have, or I
All
just
the
have
shit
these
I've done for
thoughts.
this dude.
I haven't called you yet, but there's something about the psilocybin trip that feels incredibly positive, and more importantly, I think that it brings to the forefront the subconscious part of yourself you're not confronting. Maybe that's what it is, right? So Carl Jung said, if you don't bring from the subconscious to the conscious, if you don't bring your subconscious, the things in your subconscious you don't know are there to the conscious, it will act out as fate in your life.
Yeah.
And I think there's something about, as I get older, aligning yourself with the truth, regardless of what
Now,
it
do you
is.
do the mushrooms with your
My
Invisalign?
Invisalign?
Yeah.
5 more weeks, and I'm gonna have the straightest teeth, and then
Because
like, I
Brian,
can chew
Brian
into
did
liver.
what do they call it, the dose? Because I
I did the
don't
heroes
know.
dose. I did
Heroes
6
dose.
grams.
I support it. I'm not a big drug guy in any facet. I support it, especially if they enjoy doing it. I don't give a shit. But if it helps them, great.
I disappeared into the sun.
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
bad.
it's 55 saying it's
It was
weird.
bad.
But you did it. But what you did, the hero's dose
Yeah.
plus that.
The 3 grams is great. When you get into 6 grams,
He did 6 grams his first time.
Oh, your first time.
well, no, I'd done
couldn't stop farting.
mushrooms before when I was younger.
Couldn't stop farting.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of things. There were a lot of things.
That seems pretty primal. You redeemed yourself
Right back in it, dude.
You did.
Welcome,
you did
man.
that.
Primal, baby. Primal.
Can I just call something up? The psilocybin versus SSRIs. Is this something that you think about?
I don't know anything about SSRIs really.
Okay. Well, this as an antidepressant or something you could take, like, because I microdose on a daily basis, and the first thing that I'll tell people is like, when you take a pinch of this, I just put my fingers in and go like this. It's a mood enhancer. You could sort of swap it out with. I'll take it with caffeine, but ideally I'd like to take less caffeine and maybe a little more psilocybin mushrooms. But I'm just observing, it's a mood enhancer.
Yeah, that's interesting. Here's the thing. We've been such persistent evolutionary hunters in opposite directions that Monday will go through Sunday and we never really grow or progress our relationship. And then when we introduced mushrooms, it was like, oh, every Saturday, we're going to spend 10 hours on the top of our mountain together.
Damn.
Together.
So you guys do a real dose.
Just you and the
and
liver
we
queen.
do about your dose. Yeah, it's just the two of us.
Bro.
You guys just go up there and kids are like, well, mom
I
and dad
love
are
you
gone
guys.
for the day.
I want to come.
That's right.
Hold on.
When they know.
You do it. You do. You
you're
do
not
about
invited, dude.
6 grams.
No, it's just the two.
I'm coming in.
That's right.
Let me in. I want in on the genie bottle because you're in a genie bottle when you do that shit. You're just in this dimension, bro.
And
You got to do it.
No, absolutely not.
You're
but,
afraid.
I'm
He's
not even I'm
afraid.
afraid. I just don't feel like doing it.
No,
But
He's afraid.
but
He needs to
you
do
live
it.
this caveman lifestyle a little bit. We talk about caveman, the evolution stuff like that. But they also weren't monogamous.
How do you know?
Do you subscribe to that?
Well, there's a lot of these tribes that were monogamous, and if you look at the parental investment,
Betas, am I right?
that's required.
Come on, man.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
take
I'm
it
trying to
easy.
vibe.
No,
You can call them alpha
This is
beta,
not
right?
appropriate.
Yeah, but you know,
This is not appropriate.
But here's the thing, you know, people talk about this stuff, right? And some tribes were monogamous, some tribes weren't monogamous. And if you look at modern day primitive culture tribes, right, and the parental investment that's required, right? If you're really going to want to raise somebody and really impart and instill those types of values, I think it's important. And here's another thing I think is important to understand with the tribes that were not monogamous. Do you know who chose your next wife?
your parents.
It was usually your first wife chose your second wife. And
Oh, so she's just picking warlocks.
who do you think she's choosing?
The ugliest girl in the tribe.
And now does
the
this
fat
still-
girl, the one fat girl in the tribe.
How attractive
Who's
is
eating
this
carbs?
situation to you now?
Oh, then I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I'm just
Oh.
gonna go back to the well.
That's the thing, and I like to talk about this because a lot. I don't know why, but people ask me, you know, about relationship advice, and at first I'm like, oh God, I'm not gonna do.
Well, you guys have a great relationship. You're around each other all the time. You're going to Africa. You're in Amazon.
How long have you been married?
18 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That-
18
I'll listen to you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yeah, we're
So
listening.
this is, you know, first time I thought, okay, you know, do I really want to give? Do I want to start embarking on this kind of advice? And then I thought, you know what, this is important. There's a lot of young kids that are so destroyed, so heartbroken, and they don't know what to do. How do I get her back? How do I get her back? And I thought, you know what, I think I could actually serve you. And here's the thing: if you want to have a 10, if you want to marry a queen, right? Because we attract our complementary opposites. You got to become a king. You got to become a 10, right? You got to create your own value,
You
your
take
own
care of
worth.
yourself. Yeah.
You got to start there.
Yeah.
Because what? You come clawing back with desperation to that person that just dumped you. You're still a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
She left you for a reason. What you got to do is fix you. Get into the gym. Start lifting heavy things. Put down the damn phone. Connect with people. Read books.
Yep.
Right? Do some mushrooms. Go deep inside yourself.
Work on
You
yourself.
create this kind of value. You take yourself from a 6 to a 7 to an 8 to a 9 or 10. Maybe you do or don't want this other person. But you're going to attract your complementary opposite irrespective of where you are in your life. If you're a piece of shit, I tell my kids this all the time.
It's the best. It's great advice.
I'm like, hey guys, you're gonna attract your complementary opposite if you work really hard what you're doing right now. And I tell them all the time, you guys are so fucked. You all are so fucked because we have so much money that you guys never really, you never have to work in your lives.
You have to struggle. Yeah.
So if you don't create your own struggle, your own resistance to forge yourself into this evolutionary hunter, you won't have progress. And if you don't have progress, you won't have happiness, right? So if you want to be if you want to attract a piece of shit, don't do shit. You're going to attract a piece of shit, right? But if you start working on yourself, if you create, if you level up, this is what you're going to do. So I think that's the best advice you can give people.
I believe that.
advice.
I believe
Me
that
too.
wholeheartedly,
100%.
and it took me a long time to kind of arrive at that. Right? Some people will tend to collect people. I don't know why.
interesting.
Or try to fix 'em.
Yeah, or fix them.
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah.
And
For a long time, you like the.
But I heard somebody say, I think it was Tony Robbins who said, you have to become the person you want to be with. And I think that's
Say that
great.
again?
You have to become the person you want to be with. And I love that expression.
I don't understand that.
You have to become the person.
become a badass to attract a badass.
Yeah, you have to become a
I
badass
like
to
that
attract
more.
a badass.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
And that-
because once again, I think that we're complementary
Beta.
opposites.
Yes,
right?
and I think that you see people repeating the same patterns over and over
And they
again.
can't figure it out.
Yeah, and they get older and they don't get better. Sometimes you get older and you get worse. It's not like time. It's not like time is going to make you a better person. Time will just kind of calcify who you are.
If you're not making changes.
Right.
Yeah.
You've got to keep adjusting your approach. 5 books you would recommend.
5?
So rough.
Did you say one book?
I'll give you 4. Carnivore Code is my favorite. Primal Fat Burner is my second favorite. Weston A. Price's Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. I can never ignore the 9 Ancestral Tenets. This is my book. This is
Yep.
my ebook. Go get it for free.
Boom.
The 5th book, probably Lame Deer, Secret of Visions.
Oh, wow. A lot. So because Weston A. Price had a huge, you know who that is? He was a dentist, an orthodontist, basically, who started studying primitive cultures, the Inuit. There's a valley in Switzerland he studied. And he found that their teeth and their facial structures were perfect. They didn't need Invisalign and things like that. He said, what the fuck is going on? And he was the first guy, and it's still now a science, like how nutrition at an early age and primal nutrition affects your facial structure, your teeth, the integrity of the enamel, and all those things. And then he looked at modern cultures who had all this tooth decay, people losing their teeth and everything else.
Yeah.
And he was very controversial in a lot of ways, but boy, he's got his acolytes. Well, there's got to be something to it. Like even the way your facial, the way your mouth is structured as you're growing, like the kind of calcium you get and things like that.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. So you see people like the Maasai, and they have these amazing teeth, strong teeth.
Yeah, and once again, it is the nourishment, but it's the mechanical loading. And I don't know if he really identified the mechanical loading, but man, you get a drumstick, chew on the drumstick. Use your centrals. You know, if you're walking around, just go pick up a stick. You might look a little stupid, but I'm going to argue. I'm going to say you look pretty fucking primal. Chewing on a stick, chew on something hard. At first, it's not going to feel real good, right? But I can bite through frozen things with my front teeth. You should be able to.
I know my teeth are too sensitive.
So you're saying to people out there, start with liver. Let's just make it simple. Start with liver, and then what do they stay away from? Sodas, sugars, shit like that.
Yeah, people aren't going to do that. I just know, like, and again, if you're not compliant, nothing means anything.
Right.
So don't change anything.
Sleep.
Just start with liver. Start eating liver. Start lifting heavy shit. Learn the barbarian, train the barbarian. You'll become a barbarian. And then if you follow my stories, you'll see what I advise every single day. Start the day by stacking the sun and the earth. Get the early morning sun on you, through the eyes, on the face, on the skin.
Yep.
Get the fuck outside. Most people don't realize sleep is the biggest lever.
Yeah.
But if I say, hey, go sleep better, let me tell you how to sleep better, you know who's going to do it? Like all these things you got to do, almost nobody, right? But if you get outside first thing in the morning, this sets your biocircadian rhythm. So your body knows when to be alert and awake versus sleepy and sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
The first sun morning exposure is going to set your biocircadian rhythm. When you have your bare feet connected, anchored, grounded into the earth.
Yeah, everyone says go outside. As soon as you wake up, go outside barefoot.
I wear flip-flops
Sun.
everywhere.
That's not barefoot, but yeah, thank you.
Go do those things. They're free. They're accessible. It takes almost no time.
Yeah.
Go do those things. These are our ancestral ways to express our highest
It
A lot
feels
of what
good,
you're
too.
selling, a lot of what
Feels
you're
good.
saying is free. A lot of the
100%.
advice you're giving us is stuff you can do for very little money.
And so what I say, okay, once you start doing these things, every single day the stories pour in. You know, the 15-year-olds that hated their lives, that were embarrassed of the person that they were humiliated. You know, they couldn't look at themselves in the mirror. And I know that feeling because I was that from 10 to 15, right? And so this is why I do what I do. I won't stop this fight, right, until this message goes mainstream. Because the stories that pour in, you know, the amount of families that couldn't have kids, they couldn't fulfill their primal purpose in life, not healthy enough, to be fertile enough, to propagate our species. And now they start doing these things. Liver, bone marrow, egg yolk, sun, earth, put down the damn
Testosterone goes
phone.
up, yeah.
I mean, it's wild how many families, how many lives have been birthed as a result. Most of these things are free. They're accessible to everybody.
I mean, who was bullying you at 15? You were jacked, dude.
Well, this is when I came out of the bullying. That's probably why I took a
You
picture.
built the shell. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I
You built the armor.
But there are bullies. Bullies take on different forms. I mean, bullies.
Not
The
back
whole
then.
internet is a bully.
Well, but back
fucking-
then there's no internet.
I was,
Now the
listen,
internet's
I was the smallest kid. I mean, I went to high school under 5 foot tall. You know,
Short king.
I was the only white kid at my school. You know, the Rodney King riots were going on.
Did you grow up in L.A.?
I grew up in San Antonio. It was overwhelmingly
Texas.
Hispanic.
I love San
You know,
Antonio.
and you know what? I remember when I was growing up, like the only thing I wanted to be was black.
Yeah.
That I mean, they kicked ass in all the sports. All the girls liked them. Like
My brother used to cry at night because he was in black.
Wait, what?
My brother used to cry at night because he was in
Are you
black.
joking?
Well, he went.
No, I
he
swear
went
to
to an
God.
all
Sorry,
black.
I went to
Jay.
all black school.
Okay, because I'm dead serious.
No,
too.
but I'm dead serious. Yeah, my brother
Okay.
used to cry because he was in black. I was like, this is ridiculous.
And,
Sorry.
and when I got my ass handed to me, everyone in my school, like, you know, they had mustaches and, you know, underarm hair. And I'm like, none of that shit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I just got used to it. And I didn't have a dad growing up.
you didn't?
And,
Your dad just dipped out?
No, he died before I had any memory.
Oh, I'm sorry.
of him. And so nobody put their arm around me, you know. And listen, this is the best thing that ever happened in my life. This is my first real rite of passage that allowed me to forge the unrelenting evolutionary hunter I am. So I was like, oh, I was your sob story again. You know, I'm like, I couldn't be more proud. In fact, I hope other people need more resistance, more rites of passage. And this is why, you know, I need people to start learning about the barbarian.
Yeah, I bet your dad be proud, though. You know what you've become.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Thanks for saying
Yeah, you
so.
spread
Well,
the
you're
good word.
living this lifestyle, and you've obviously turned it into an empire. That's a big fucking deal. So
not easy to
again, you can say whatever you want about the Liver King, but it seems to be working for you, and it sounds like your message is pretty fucking positive to me because you seem very passionate about getting young people healthy. Because I'm sorry, I travel this country, you do too. The majority of our country is not healthy. The majority of our country tries to put themselves in a different state by drinking themselves numb, by drugging themselves numb. Antidepressants and these kinds of things are essentially everywhere. And I don't think we figured out health, and I don't think we figured out life. I'm reading Shantaram about Bombay, and he's in the slums of Calcutta. Slums of Bombay. And one thing he said is these people they're so poor, but he's never counted more smiles on the street. That's a fucking significant thing.
Yeah.
He lived in these modern countries, and when when you're in Africa, you're in India. There's something about those people where you go, they're poor as fuck, but they're smiling.
Yeah.
And
To
we've
your
lost
point,
our
comfort.
way. But
To his
modern,
point, to
there are
comfort.
trappings to modern life, and I think that
big
your rebuttal to modern life is pretty healthy.
I wanted you in here because on the videos you seem like a positive person, and you don't, you know how it is. Like you don't know if it's an act or whatever. So I want to get the vibe. I want to feel the vibe. And you're as organic as it comes, man. You're a good dude.
We're fans.
Yeah, you're a great person, man.
Yeah,
I'm
this
beyond
is
that
great.
the whole feast, man.
Now, Brennan, you haven't fucking eaten enough testicle. You had a tiny piece of liver.
I was hoping you'd just bite in
amazing.
that big old testicle.
I'm not
Your
going
mouth
to
is
do that
salivating.
because my skin is so nice. I don't need to shine it up even more. Is that a bull testicle?
This is bull testicle, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Well, Liver
Great
King, you're
guy.
the best, brother.
This
Really
was
one of the
incredible.
best people. Yeah, your energy, everything. You're great, man.
Thank you.
Keep spreading the good word. Real quick, in LA, it's a little different. You just go around the stores in LA. Do you go in the stores with your shirt off?
Well, what do you go to the stores for? Really?
Yeah,
What? I mean, really? I mean it.
sure.
Subprimal.
You know, I was talking to an incredible influencer who really gave me my first break.
Who's that? You don't want to say his name?
For what I'm about to say, it probably doesn't seem
You don't
very
have to say it.
complimentary.
You don't have to say his name.
But he was wearing this ear pod thing, and it was. Do you remember? Louis Vuitton. And I was like, what is that? What is that thing? And,
Yeah.
Oh, I like nice things. And he's like, hey, don't you go to stores and stuff and get nice things? And I'm like, this is the problem. Like, why do you think you like nice things? What do you think this says about you?
We're conditioned for that. It provides value for him. Yeah.
But once again, it's like, how do you think you're expressing value and worth to the world? Is it through status signaling with that thing?
Yeah.
Through your hat, through
Well,
your
you're
shirt?
treated differently, right? If you grow up poor and you roll up in a really nice car with really nice jewelry, people treat you a little bit differently. When you're poor and you grow up poor, you're treated with, it's humiliating sometimes. So I think some people, that's a reminder that they never have to face that humiliation again, maybe. There's all these emotional.
Have you ever driven a Ferrari, Liver King?
Not a Ferrari, no.
Yeah.
No, but
He's got one.
Do you? Mm-hmm.
Two.
What kind?
I have a SF90 and then a 430.
Oh wow, you have two of them.
Mm-hmm.
How come?
I love cars. I love cars. I like the engineering behind it. I like everything. Yeah.
So I have a tank. I got a
Legit tank?
an old tank.
That's sick.
I got an old Deuce and a half military truck. The kind of things. Oh, we don't have the. Oh, it's about to come out. Justin, do you know when the YouTube video comes out about my ancestral garage?
No, but it should be pretty soon.
I said, hey, if you can't drive this out into the middle of my ranch, I don't want this in my garage.
That's funny.
But I see these supercars. My kids love.
My kids do too. I grew up, I guess, in the living room. My dad had a picture of a 911 Porsche, so that was like the goal. So I grew up like, oh, if I can afford a Porsche, that means I've done something. So
Yeah.
as soon as I could afford a Porsche, I got a Porsche.
Okay, badass.
Called my dad. I was like, I got a Porsche.
Yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Those are those milestones, those moments. But you also love fashion. Some people just like colors, and you should come out of the closet too. That's the other thing I think we should talk about.
What do you mean?
I'm glad.
I think he should start.
but
He
he
should start
knows.
banging
But he
guys
knows,
because
though.
he's into guys.
But that's what the caveman did, right? So I'm gonna eat liver. I'm gonna start fucking dudes.
As long
And
as
that's
you
not
don't
beta at all.
don't turn your sights on me. But yeah, I got you.
I think the take with this entire show is use such a beta, right?
What do you mean? Because I'm wearing my fucking Invisalign? I got 5 more weeks, bro.
The Invisalign, so many reasons.
Now I can't take them out because my butt is fucked up. So I gotta wait till I'm having trouble.
You don't need to.
No, you don't need to.
You can take it off right now.
Really?
Yeah. Take
Your
it off.
functional bite will find itself again.
Yes.
Again, you got to think aesthetics or function. What's more important to
Both.
Aesthetics, this
about
fucking guy.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's all bullshit when
All
you say
bullshit.
both. The most important thing is no half measures. You pick what you want. It's aesthetics or function. Pick one. And if it's aesthetics, that's fine.
That's fine. You can be that guy. That's
No,
fine.
I mean, I'm
No, you're
50,
Jared
I'm
Leto.
55. I'm not going to get better looking as the years go by. So for me, I just figured
No, Father's Time slapped me in the fucking face right now.
Yeah, but I'm going to get my face tight.
But again, you add and stack value, right?
Yeah.
It's how strong you are. What's your courage, mastery, honor?
It's not very strong.
It's your whole package, right?
Yeah.
Because value's not created equally. So it's all these things that you do, and at the end of the day, what you express to the outside world. I always tell people, when they're like, "Hey, why don't you wear a shirt?" And I'm like, why do you wear a shirt?
Yeah.
Like, hey, why don't you go to stores? I'm like, why do you go to stores? I don't know.
Oh, no, I wouldn't wear a shirt either if I had your
Well,
I wouldn't wear a shirt.
Yeah.
Well, I mean this. You give me 10 minutes with somebody. You allow me to have a conversation.
I'll burn my fucking fry right now.
To do what?
Just to make you happy.
So that might get views.
Yeah. To prove I'm not a beta.
I know we're both like, I'm not a beta. I'm not subprimal. Tell me more, Liver King.
We're just trying to one up each other.
Just cut to us following him around.
But
I just sent you a video of me fucking a dude, not a beta, dude.
You guys talk about that a lot. You realize I don't even know what to say when you
Yeah,
guys
we're
say
gay.
it.
Yeah, we're basically gay.
Yeah, we're both closeted
Yeah.
men.
But I always say, you know, the way that we
Just
look
so on beta.
and the way that we speak, these are outward expressions of who we are
Yep.
and what we believe. And so this is my primal self, right? This is how I was born. My first version, undomesticated self. I didn't wear a shirt before social. I don't wear a shirt after starting social, right? I don't trim my beard before social. I still don't. You know, somebody said, hey, why do you say Liver King? Why do you refer to yourself in the third person, right? And it's because I got a job to do, you know, because of people that are hurting, right? You got to remember that my name, Liver King, because liver is king, right? So if I can start a reel and I say, Liver King here, here's what Liver King is having for dinner, Liver King out.
Yep.
This is all part of my personal brand, but it's my truest, most authentic self. So you let me have a conversation with somebody. You show me who they are bare-chested. This is going to tell me a lot of what I need to know about somebody. And I'm not looking for a 55-year-old that's jacked with an 8-pack,
Yep.
right? But how you do anything is how you do everything. This is why I'm not surprised that Joe Rogan is ripped to the bone, looking incredible,
jacked.
articulate as fuck, successful beyond measure, right? This is why I hold him in the highest regard. I was on a podcast the other day. I said this before. I just want to say it one more time before it gets old. There's 4 primals I hold in the highest regard. George Washington, Chuck Norris,
Brendan Johnson.
Rocky Balboa,
Oh, Chuck Norris.
and then Joe Rogan.
That's hilarious.
Number 5 is going to be Brendan Schaub. Okay, it's official.
Yeah.
It's
a great
official.
list.
So I say this: how you do anything is how you do everything. You know, like I'm not surprised when I meet guys that are that articulate, that successful. They're also ripped, shredded. They look the way that they do because
Yes.
your physical expression, your social, emotional, intellectual, holistic expression. You know, when there's alignment there. I think you found something.
I would say to people also that you have a reaction to people. It can be positive, it can be negative. And I think it's important when you have a negative, I always do this. If I have a negative reaction, if something about something, I go like this.
trigger
I
you?
examine why I'm triggered. And a lot of times I might be triggered, and I think this is for anybody. You might be triggered because that person might be a reminder of the life you're not living.
Correct.
That person might be a reminder of the shit you're not doing. So sometimes we don't like to be confronted with real freedom, somebody who's living their life exactly the way they want to, somebody who's original and rejecting a lot of the status quo.
Of the chances they didn't take.
That's it. It reminds them of the chances they didn't take. And you know, you're on a private jet with your shirt off, eating fucking raw liver. Nobody knows how to put that in context. They're like, fucking, you're not allowed to eat raw. It's not good for you. And then you're on a fucking private
The
jet.
six-pack is
you're
fake.
rich because you're selling fake shit.
I love it.
Okay, cool. You do it then. You fucking do it. I would love to be able to do that, but it seems that whatever you're doing, you're making a lot of money. You have a business. You have this great family. You're living exactly the way you want to.
You're raising good kids. more
And
importantly.
you got abs and nice tits. So let's get and you're walking around without a shirt on. It's you know what? It's outrageous.
I love it.
You're wonderfully outrageous. And I think that's
we
what
want to
I love.
move to your ranch.
That, by the way, yeah.
Listen, now I'm grateful, and I'm telling
And
everybody.
your wife's a smoke show, we should also say, by the way. So you're hitting
And
it
by the
on
way,
all.
she's 50.
Are you fucking
No.
kidding?
She's 50.
Look at that. Look at her.
What?
You look unbelievable.
Holy
That
shit,
is
man.
unreal.
I need to start eating fucking
That's
liver,
fucking
dude.
unbelievable.
And let me make
Fuck.
this point because
But I mean, for real, that's amazing. That's your
Are you
biggest.
seriously 50?
Hold on. Hold on.
This is insane.
Hold on. That's your biggest
I'm
accomplishment.
sorry. Like,
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm getting to an age now, and I found somebody in my life who. That's your biggest accomplishment. Finding the person you're willing to spend your life with. That when you do that is probably the most. I think that's the most important decision you can make.
You found her a
Everything
while
goes from there.
ago, though.
But this is what happens. People put their best foot forward to meet one another, right? Then they get comfortable, and then they gain 5 pounds, or 10 pounds. They get married, they lose a little bit of weight, they take their pictures, then they gain 5 pounds a year in perpetuity, and in 5 years you wake up next to a beast.
Yep.
A
Right?
warlock. Yeah.
Maybe you got married and you were both 8s, but now you're respective 5s. And guess what? You might say that you love the person, but how much you want to bet you don't lust the person that weighs 350 pounds. You don't.
Facts.
You don't. So you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your complementary opposite to express your highest and most dominant form. They will do the same because they're your complementary opposite. So I wake up next to someone she's my 10. I love her and I lust her. And what a gift this is when you get to wake up to the person that's your soulmate, that you love, and this is the only nobody could ever be better.
Yeah,
People hate you. People hate you right now.
Wait for that.
I'm telling you that. I'm telling you.
People
They're
are mad
trying
that
to
you
find
found
something
your
wrong.
one.
They go like this. I don't believe it. Bullshit. This is what we do. All of us do it in one way or another.
Those people don't matter though.
But you have
I don't even focus on it.
I'm saying you have to
You're
confront
too
that in
focused on
yourself.
it.
All of us have a version of that. And until you confront that, and until you embrace the fact that that person might be an inspiration, an example that you should kind of point towards, then you can like harp on the fucking he eats meat and no fiber. That's not the fucking
That's
point.
also, but Brian, that's not the
point.
majority. That's just not the majority. You wouldn't have a business if that was the majority. You wouldn't be liked if it was the majority.
This is the deal.
Right, that's a good
Like
point.
you don't want to just you're controversial, people are gonna be mad. That's the minority.
You're right.
And the social media, that's the minority.
Exactly.
So
It's not even real.
It's the
It's not
vocal
real.
minority that they're trying to reframe the conversation. These are the ones making reaction videos, sitting on their couch,
Confirmation bias.
and they're attempting to lead a cancel culture, right? And if you're weak, you'll allow that to happen. But I'm like, listen, you want to talk about that thing? I'm going to control my main bullets. That's a side dish. And I try and I give my kids this advice, right? When we talk to each other, when you hear hate, when you hear critics, these are just words, right? That we break down into syllables. The syllables go through our ear canal, innervates with the brain. We assign meaning to it. This is why language is so important. This is why your philosophy and principles are more important. Because at the end of the day, whatever somebody said to you, irrespective of the words, the syllables, the vibration, you assign meaning to it. Would I ever assign meaning and say, oh, they hate on me? I would never say that, right? I would say, what's happening here is this person actually hates their life more than anybody.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're projecting this hate back to the world.
That's right.
They're suffering the most. This is why I'm here for the world.
Yep.
Because they actually need the help. So now when you can be motivated, I mean, I don't know how much that's going to motivate people to hear that. But
I think it's important.
But I think when people understand,
The ones that matter.
I just think it's funny you can walk around eating raw meat and get people that worked up. It's fucking great.
it's wild, it's fun as hell. We're just getting started. We've only been doing this for a year.
When did you this is the greatest persona. You just decided, fuck it. I'm gonna start. The first time I saw you were pulling a sled and you were jacked out of your mind with your beard and your hair.
Thank you.
And eating and then drinking blood in shot glasses.
Yeah.
I'm like, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is outrageous.
Yeah.
Enough. Hey. And then I saw you on a private jet and I go, I fuck this.
Brian was triggered.
I gotta go lift weights. Yeah, I know. I love it. We've always-
Somebody told me, hey, you got to do this thing on social media. And we always called it anti-social media. Right? We didn't like the way people looked stuck to their phone. And I said, I'm never going to do that. We never had a Facebook account, never had a MySpace. We never did any of that ever. And we were proud of that. And then I realized, you know what? We do have a vision. Like we got to take this message, the ancestral message, mainstream. It's too important. You know my why in the world. As people are suffering, my kids were suffering. We got a message to share. It's accessible to everybody. We got to do this. We have an obligation to do this. And this is what I'll say about technology and social media. Technology, AKA a utility, is a utility until it no longer is. It sounds simple. It's a little bit complex. With social media, I only follow 9 people. Half are my family, liver boys and the wife, right? And I use social.
Liver boys.
Yeah, I use social to create and to curate value. When you start to mindlessly consume content, that's a placeholder for creating the value that compounds in the world, that allows you to express a higher form, that allows you to attract that complementary opposite that's a 9 or a 10 that you wake up to, right? And so you got to be really careful about how you use any technology. Use it to create and to curate value for yourself.
It's also people living through their phone, just staring at the phone. It's like, you're not living life, man. You're literally in a simulation.
So somebody said because I made a video the other day and I said, hey, why would you want to play video games when you can drive these high lifters, going mudding, shooting guns? And
I saw that, yeah.
okay, so somebody responds, must be nice when you have $1 million to do all that stuff. And what I'm thinking, I didn't respond, right?
That's an excuse, yeah.
Well, this is what I'm thinking is, you know what, you will get the $1 million if you don't play video games. Go actually produce real life, produce real value, right? You go do these
or
things.
you'll feel like it.
And so I think the arm was twisted enough when we had visitors come over and they couldn't believe, the jaws were dropped and they couldn't believe how we're living. And when you just live the way you live, you don't really know that there's anything abnormal about it.
Yeah.
And so enough people said, you got to get this on camera. And again, wife and I are just like, oh, I don't know, because we kind of like our lives right now, right? But again, if progress equals happiness, we take on more responsibility that we don't want to necessarily do. right? Which leads to progress, which leads to more happiness. And this is our fight. This is why we unite. This is why we exist today. And again, this is why I'm so grateful for you guys, because I desperately need people to be as successful, primals to be successful like you guys, so that I can have these platforms so that we can express this message.
We'll
today.
keep fighting the good fight, brother.
It's
We're
awesome.
fans here, man.
Yeah, man, we
Super
love it.
fans.
You're always welcome there.
Hell
This
yeah.
has been
I'm on
fucking
board with the
great.
whole
I want to
feast.
come out to the ranch.
Me too.
Right?
Drink some blood.
Let's shoot some stuff out there, man.
Do
I wanna-
barbarian.
Yeah,
I want to
I'm
I
super
want to do the barbarian, and I want to eat some fucking mushrooms.
And
All
it's the and your website is the was that the fittest.com?
Fittest.com is one of my companies. Yeah, that's where you can get the whole feast. There's a whole slew of supplements on there. And here's the thing, like, they're all nose to tail nutrition. If you want to learn more about Liver King, it's just liverking.com, right? But you know, I want people to plug into the message, plug into the stories. What you're going to see is I highlight my entire day.
Yeah.
Right. I wake up out of my wooden plank bed. I go take a piss on my favorite tree. I'm already stacking the sun and the earth, creating content, creating what I hope to be valuable within the first 5 minutes of my day. Right. So if you want to plug into, because we talked about a lot of stuff, you're not going to execute, implement all this stuff, but start with liver, because liver is king. Then tune into the stories, stack the sun and the earth, lift heavy shit, learn the barbarian, and you're going to set yourself on a trajectory to change your life forever.
I'm co-signing that.
I'm fucking pumped.
I'm eating liver in Boston this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm eating liver and doing comedy in Boston this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Then San Jose is October 13th through the 15th. Salt Lake City, October 20th through 22nd. Wise Guys. And then I end October on tour in Calgary. It's the Rooftop downtown Calgary, and that show's damn near sold out. So we added a show on Friday. So October 27th, 28th, I'm in Calgary. Get you some. Thiccboy.com. B.
I'm in Tacoma this weekend, Tacoma Comedy Club, Thursday through Saturday. Can't wait. Bridgeport, Connecticut, Stress Factory, October 13, 14, 15. Schaumburg, Illinois, Schaumburg Improv, October 27 and 29. I'm in Dallas sometime in November. I'm just saying. No, or maybe, I don't know where it is. Yeah, it's somewhere in November or December. I don't know. I'll find out, but I'm going to be bugging
Very
you.
general.
Because you guys how far away are you from Dallas?
Maybe an hour and a half or two. I saw that you're in Houston, but you said you're in Dallas. I didn't see it on there. We got to figure that out.
I'm in Houston. Come on
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could make it over there when I'm in Houston, for sure.
You guys got to come out to a show.
We're going to make stuff happen.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do it,
man.
brother.
I'd
I'll
love
get
it.
your number, and we'll make it happen. Liver King, you're the best, man.
Appreciate
I'm gonna
you.
feel this energy, man. You're a real dude.
Thank
You're a
you.
real good person too, man.
Hell
I
yeah.
appreciate it, brother.
I appreciate
Liver
you,
King,
guys.
everybody.
Oh, are we
No,
about
keep
over?
going. No, we'll go all
Go.
the fucking day.
Well,
What do you got?
whenever we're done, so I'm the Liver King, so I always got to end it by saying, well, where's the camera? Which camera is it?
Any
on?
camera.
Where's this
One of the 7. Go ahead. That's your camera right there.
All right, so here we go. Liver King out.
Yeah.
Yeah.